Who's in the box?
Who's in the box? Who's in the box?
Well, that went well.
Oh my god.
This is a clash of the titans.
Richard looks so sexy.
And Kate helping Ben. It's just so, like, bizarre. I love it.
Now, we've traveled all the way across country just so he could see you.
Walt!
I need to know if you're going to do anything crazy.
That's wild. He's so big now.
This is progress. This is a conversation.
Back with an unarmed woman. We led half of our people across the island and got most of them killed.
Well, Jack, you put a gun to my head and you pulled the trigger.
Good point.
That is actually a good point.
I was hoping we'll just have to see which one of us is right.
This is the most reasonable he's been since White Rabbit.
I interrupt. If you do it half as well as you lie to yourself, I'll believe you.
Dang. I can't wait for the rants again.
It will answer some of your questions. I'll take care of some business.
He's so parented that moment. Your Game Boy, no, leave mommy alone.
What a guy.
Hi, man.
Okay. I was like, there's no way he's dead that easily.
You just killed everybody on that boat.
So,
Oh my god. Ben does not give a shit. Oh, it's the trigger for the C4. Whispers. Oh.
You can go now, Michael. Who are you?
So Jin and Michael are dead. It sucks so much. There's Kristin's man. And shirtless too.
Only thing they can help me
Still
right
in
now.
the jeans.
I feel so bad for Ben.
You feel bad for Ben after what he just did right now? Are you kidding?
He literally just murdered Jin and Michael.
He's like choosing to exile himself from his home.
I swear to God, if you pull an "It's Only Jin," I will like leave the podcast forever. Throw them around. Take them right to the stand.
Oh my god, Penny. It's Penny's boat. It is John Locke. Well, Kevin's favorite actually is no longer with us.
Kevin, are you also going to be dancing on that poor boy's grave like I did with Shannon?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Michael, Kristin, Kevin, and I are back for the Lost Season 4 finale. There's No Place Like Home, Part 2 and 3. We're going to put both these last two parts together and talk about all the crazy stuff that happened, all the tragic stuff that happened. I mean, sadly, we lost some really important characters, and yeah, it sucks.
I'm gonna be against Kevin and Michael today because I hate Ben and Locke. So I mean, it's they're dead.
What did Locke do? In this episode, Locke did nothing wrong except he died. It's a disaster.
He's in a casket.
Ben, maybe I'll be controversial. Apparently, my takes aren't good. This is an episode I love, like watching. I always like watch reaction videos online of like first-time viewers watching it, and like the excitement is palpable when they're watching the show for the first time. I'm like, yay! It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I said it during the episode, in case it doesn't make the pre-show clips. This is, to me, the most reasonable that John Locke has been since White Rabbit. He actually decides to have a conversation and talk about his thoughts and ideas rather than just tell people what to do. So that's lovely.
Extra reasonable considering the last time he saw Jack put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Right, as he brings
Yes,
up.
I do think he is very reasonable.
I mean, he also like threw a knife in a girl's back that was unarmed.
He
so.
also he was doing a lot. It was a lot. He was a danger to people.
He had a lot going on there.
Listen, is there coming back from that? I don't know if there's coming back from that from Jack. Right? You made that decision just because it didn't happen. I don't know, but like you try to protect people from a crazy man who's killing people with knives in the woods. Like I don't know. But otherwise, I would also say that this is, I think, since the season 1 finale, like the first time we've had that roller coaster of like they're doing it. They're getting rescued, and of course we know, like, because of the flash forwards, we know that it's only going to be 6. But like, you have that moment of they're like, I think it's Kate, like they're on the helicopter and she like breathes for the first time, and in 4 seasons, and you have that like triumphant moment, just like it was followed by Walt getting taken, like followed by the freighter blowing up, right? Like, and the island disappearing, and it's that level to me of like the triumph and then having it snatched away from you.
And I think it's like season 3 and 4, the finales as well. It's like they go together so well. Like this is the culmination of everything that was set up in the season 3 finale. We get like who's in the box. We get, the continuation, and now like the timeline is caught up to that portion of story where Jack is off the deep end. So it's like getting the story to that point as the entirety of season 4.
Well, and from not Penny's boat to Penny's boat.
Right, from not Penny's boat to it being Penny's boat.
Right. Also, I misspoke. I did not mean to say Locke. I meant to say Jack. So, because that would make more sense of why I would piss off Kevin. So
I
earlier.
Listen, Jack is very imperfect in this episode.
He is a lot.
But I think that is like somebody who's perfect all the time is not a rootable character, right? Like
he's a lot
like John Locke, yeah.
John Locke is annoying. No, but like haven't you ever had this experience? Like you finally get the thing that you wanted, and it's not actually what you wanted, right? Like,
well, the grass is not always greener. That's not the issue. There's just more issues with other things, not so much of him having the realization that maybe Locke was right. You know what I mean? But
I mean, I think that's the whole point is that like he has to realize like he's the one who's leading this. He's also the one leading the lie, right? Like, who are the people who are in the worst shape in the flash forwards? Like Jack and Saeed, and those are the 2 who are most committed to telling this lie, right? Like mainly Jack, and Saeed's the next one who's like going along with it. Like they had to have that breakdown to get to where they're going to be. So like very imperfect characters, but I still appreciate them.
Well, we have a lot to discuss, so let's just jump into this. But we do have a couple fun facts. We have 2 episodes to go through with these fun facts, so I picked and choose some. But we've been doing the whole numbers thing of it all, and there were, the ones that's my favorite is literally sides like, do you have the time? The guy's trying to tell him 8:15 and literally gets shot. So, like, he doesn't even get to finish the 15, but he does say 5th, like, you know what I mean? Like, we know that's where that was going. The song that Jack's listening to, the Nirvana song that was it was like stolen by Nirvana and all that, is a whole thing. Is number 15 on their album, so that's where that came in. So that's a fun fact for you. 8 people got off the island, even though we have our Oceanic 6. 8 people got off because of Des and Frank. We have a 15 on a rabbit. We previously had an 8 on a rabbit. Now we have a 15 on a rabbit. Jack also performed CPR on Desmond 15 times. He pushed down 15 times on Desmond.
Wow.
Yep. The funeral parlor's address, 1658. I think they could have done a 1648 or 1642 or whatever, but like that's what they chose. But it is the 16 and 8. We also got some black and white, which we've seen the good versus evil pop up a couple times. We have obviously Hurley playing chess with Mr. Echo. Like, who would have thunk that one coming out? But he was playing chess with Echo. And also the Santa Rosa sign is black and white, where Hurley is at. The Santa Rosa sign is black and white. Okay, couple continuity bloopers.
Oops.
If you will. The one that's so blatantly obvious is the trash can that Ben repeatedly puts into the thing. It's this trash can. And we see that before Kiwi comes down. We see it after he's killed Kiwi, but he like picks up the same trash can and puts it in the thing at least 3 times. And I'm like, you guys could have picked something else. But yeah, so obviously that was filmed together. Fun fact, Dead Man's Trigger would not have worked. The signal would not have gone all the way that far underground. It would not have transmitted. So
Listen.
Not doing
It's Charles Widmore's rich people technology. It's fine.
Listen, I'm just saying, I think they should run it back and maybe not kill Jin because you're devastating me. Like, let's say it didn't work. Oh well, haha, Kimi.
He's got that like Bruce Wayne million. He can do whatever he wants.
Do whatever he wants. So do you guys, Michael and Kevin, do you guys know what Kate's phone call said?
Sounded like gibberish to me.
So we had all these moments. I'll never like watching these things for the first time. Of course, like we talked about like in season 3 when they like had Jack holding the obituary. I'm like pausing it and zooming in and like all the things. You would never know what Kate's phone call said because it was backwards. Like a lot of things have been like when Walt was talking in backwards terms and all that. But if you take it and reverse it, it says the island needs you. You have to go back.
Mm.
Yep.
You have to go back.
We have to go back.
Also, another good irony of this episode, Michael gets killed by a bomb after he previously tried to blow up the freighter earlier with a different bomb. The irony in it. Last fun fact before we jump into this crazy thing, and this is a fun fact. I'm assuming that Michael and Kevin know this, but this one always like drove me crazy. So in order to keep the secret of who was in the box, who's in the coffin, they filmed several different endings and had 2 other people in the box, in the coffin. And those 2 people happened to be Desmond and my man Sawyer. Like, let's not put that out there. Thank you. But yes, Sawyer, Desmond, and Jeremy Bentham. We calling him that for so long now. And Locke they filmed all of that like above shot with all of them. I will say that Sawyer looked very handsome in his suit though.
Wow.
I also have one more.
Oh, okay.
The biggest clue that John Locke is in the coffin for the real eagle-eyed people is the fact that the alias that he chooses is Jeremy Bentham. Jeremy Bentham is a British philosopher. So is John Locke. They were both named after British philosophers. So it was like a nice little through line there. My theory was always that Ben was in the coffin.
Mine
I was
too.
like, Ben uses aliases. Why would Kate go to Ben's funeral? Why would
she was angry about it too? Like,
Yeah,
after what he did and put us through, like she
and
was
why would Jack be so heartbroken about Ben's death because he's desperately trying to get back to the island? I was like, it's definitely Ben. And then when Ben ends up turning up in the scene, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
that was 100% me, Michael. When I was watching this live, and he's like, "Hello, Jack." I was like, "Wait, that's Ben's voice. It's not Ben in the coffin. What's happening?" But yeah, I
was so relieved, but then so heartbroken seconds later.
That was a bad episode for you.
I think when you guys asked me at the end of season 3, I think I said Sawyer. So like, yeah, with the benefit of hindsight, watching it back on a rewatch, like it'll be easier to probably obviously pick up on things.
Do you want to know something funny, Jake?
What?
You actually said it was John Locke.
Oh, did I? Okay.
We all noticed. We were like, how did he say that?
I was like, okay. For some reason, I thought I said Sawyer.
The clue that gave it away to you was
a couple different things going on.
Not a friend, but not a foe. Like not a friend, not like it was something like and you were like, well, who else would that even be? And we were like, damn, that is true. Why did none of us pick up on that?
First, I don't know why I thought I said Sawyer and not John Locke, but
no, I think you said a couple names that day. Yeah. But I will say too, like Evangeline Lilly just had she was on a interview and she had said something that I think really, we've talked about this before, that I think being able to binge Lost helps a lot of people maybe figure things out quicker, where we had like a week that we had to wait, or even months, all those things, where a lot of times we'd forget little things, even though we're talking about it so much, we'd still forget little details, versus literally you can watch 6 episodes, 10 episodes in a day. You know what I mean? So I think there is something to that, you kind of lose a little bit of the magic that is lost when you're able to binge it versus like having to wait in between episodes. So I do think that for people that are getting to watch Lost for the first time, they are not experiencing the same like awe and wonder that is lost when you're trying to.
I started and ended college while this show was going on.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, let's get into this episode because I've got like 3 pages of notes.
Oh God. All right. Let her talk. Let her talk. Turn
It's
the
2
volume
episodes.
down.
Let it cook.
But we do start off I do really like that they brought this back because like we saw at the end of season 3 Jack yelling at Kate, we have to go back, and she drives off and we're like, okay, Kate's pissed, like what, over and done with. But little do we know is that she stops the car and she comes back even more pissed off, and she's like, what do you mean? Like, she left already pissed and now you just pissed her off more. But this is where we get a lot of information, and this is where I was like Michael, and I'm like, this is 100% Ben in this coffin. Like, this is 100% Ben as Jeremy Bentham, because she is very mad.
Bentham. That was another clue.
Right.
Bentham.
Right. But yeah, so she's talking about, he's saying we have to go back, we weren't supposed to leave, and she's like, yes we we're not discussing this, like we're not having this conversation. After that, and then he's like, well, Jeremy Bentham, and she's like, screw this guy after what he did to us and all these things. And he also brings up, like, did he visit you? And so obviously we get this quite a bit hearing them talk. So obviously Locke, can we stop saying Bentham? Because it's gonna throw me off.
Yeah, let's just
Locke obviously came off the island, which, how did that happen? Because like we left him as the leader of the others, so that's going to be interesting. But Locke obviously left the island to tell them all to come back. So he's visiting all of them. I mean, we heard him visit Walt. You know what I mean? So he's visiting everybody, and for what purpose other than to get them to come back? But it seems like his visit just riled something up in Kate. So she's very, very, very mad. And Jack is still drunk and high, and she's like, leave me alone. I'm done with you.
You know what I love about Kate in that moment? She drives like about 50 feet before she stops. And it's like she started driving away and then was like, the fuck did that guy just say to me?
No, you know what? I am mad. I am going to tell him.
You know what? Like, I'm going back.
It's like that, like,
back, not the island.
Right, but it's like that fight of being like, and another thing, like, but she does bring up like all the horrible things that they happened. Little did we know what we were about to witness in this finale, because there are lots of horrible things that happen.
Yeah, because doesn't she even say like the horrible things that happened that day?
She does. But also we hear Jack mention Aaron, and she slapped the shit out of him so quick. Don't you ever bring up his name again. So,
yeah.
Oh, and she says because I still have to explain to him where you are.
Yeah.
Why you're not reading to him.
Why you're
Yeah.
oh my God.
Heartbreaking. Anyway, so that's our lead up into this episode, but we do have a lot of things going on. We got left with, we were all trying to figure out, we've got pieces of the Oceanic 6 all over this island. How are they all going to come back together? So they're all kind of spread out. We've got Jack and Sawyer. They're off to go get Hurley, obviously. I do love, again, and we're going to see a lot from my man. And yes, spoiler alert, he will be my favorite this time. But with that, we've talked multiple times about this whole like complete turnaround that Sawyer has done, but he's concerned about Jack. He's like, you want to like take a break? You look like you're about to keel over. Like, you okay? He's very concerned about Hurley. That's why he wants to go after Hurley. But they do meet up with Hurley. He's taking a good old piss. He's like,
I love that they just wander upon him. Like they just happen to see him. It's like, oh, there he is.
Right. And if you're paying attention to the news, he basically was pulling whatever the guy did on the safari at Animal Kingdom over there and took a piss right in front of everybody. But yeah, so I do love that Hurley's like, hey, hold on a second. Let me put this thing away. It was a very random thing for them. But they do reunite, and then they're like, we're here, and he's like, well, Locke and Ben are doing some funky stuff over there with some flowers. I don't know what's happening. But we're going to get to that whole situation here shortly. But I'm sure Kevin loved that when they got to the flower part, Locke is just like aimlessly searching for flowers.
It's so fun. I mean, I can't give him too much shit because I do not remember what Ben said, and I would not. He's like, you got to find this flower on this shelf, and then reach down into this pot, and I'm like, what? And he's like, I have a plan. Like, repeat that, and he walks away. So like, I can't blame John Locke too much because I also didn't know what he said, but it is very funny to watch him just like.
He's literally looking for them like my kids look for anything. Like, Somewhere.
It is hilarious, and especially when you rewatch it, knowing that like Ben's gonna comment on it later. Like, but when you rewatch it, knowing that he doesn't know what he's looking for, it's so funny just to see him like wandering around aimlessly, looking at flowers, like picking up random leaves. Like, Ben left him instructions. Ben handed himself into the mercenaries, and then Locke's just there, like picking up plants. Like, I don't know what to do.
It makes me laugh every time because he is just completely lost, no pun intended. But we do get back to the freighter, and we know where we left the freighter people. They found this giant mountain of C4, and we like to know how this is going to end is devastating because they tried so hard. They tried so hard. But we also hear a little bit of Desmond. He said, I did this whole like bomb course and like basically found out all the ways that you can blow yourself up. But like he goes into the severity of it. It was like this wire here, you cut it, boom. Like this one over here, boom. This battery, like all these things. And Jin's even like, yeah, I got it. Boom, dude. Like I got it.
Yeah, Jin learned a new word for his growing collection of English words.
Boom.
Sadly, the last word that he learned in his life was the word boom.
I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, so they are trying to come up with a plan here. This is not looking great, but like we're all like, our people, they're heroes, they're gonna figure this out, it's gonna be great, and we know how this is gonna end. It's not gonna end great, but to see them all kind of just go to work immediately, but knowing the severity of this, because it's like I think Desmond even says like this whole amount of C4 would blow up like a whole carrier. Like we're talking not just this is gonna really take out this freighter, like because they could take out
that freighter goes down quick because
it does. Yes, it does. Anyway, we get back to our group of Hurley and Locke and Sawyer and all them. And they are like, hey, Ben surrendered himself. We get Ben and we see him now at this point because they're talking about it. We see Ben walking with his little arms tied. He's like, this is fun. Thanks for the walk here. But like, I mean, we get kind of into this. Kimi is wondering why Ben. Like, why is Widmore after you? Like, why are you so important? Like, he's got millions. He gave us all this stuff. Like, why you? And I mean, it's a very like interesting thing of like, we know that there is this connection here, but again, yeah, we're all asking the question that Kimi is of like, who thought I would be agreeing with Kimi of like, why? But
you don't have to agree with him. You can just acknowledge that a broke clock is right twice a day. Like,
but it is true. Like the fact that like Widmore's put so many resources into finding this one guy, like he's sent them to the island to just like bring him out of there. Like it is wild. So like, what is that dynamic? Why was it worth so much to Widmore to extract Ben, not kill Ben, but take him out of the island?
Yeah, it's interesting to think about, and I feel like for Widmore, maybe it's like Ben has something that he wants. That's kind of all I can think of, is why he would want Ben, or his knowledge of something that he wants. So
I also think that, I mean, Kimi seems like a very, like, I mean, he's like, I can't even believe I'm even giving him a compliment right now, but Kimi also seems like a very smart and like calculated person too. Like, we're going to get this part where they're walking up to can't even talk now, helicopter. It's like, how do you get the toolbox, right? Like, how do you get the toolbox? So I think like all these things is like, Kimi can be even extra dangerous if he starts to be able to figure out all this stuff, right? Like, I mean, look, he said like later on, I pulled out a whole life insurance policy for myself. Like he is a very calculated, like we've talked about Ben and like how his thought. Can we imagine like Kimi going like on a full like figuring things out? That would be bad. I think it would be worse than what we got from Kimi because he is terrifying.
I also love that Ben's using this as an opportunity to try and get some information as well. Like Ben asks if like, did Charles Widmore tell you to kill my daughter? Like Ben is trying to figure out whether or not this guy's just went rogue and he's decided, screw it, he's not cooperating, I'm gonna kill this girl, or if Widmore's actually gave the order, because that changes things for Ben. And we're gonna see, you know, Ben's gonna put a hit out on Penny. He's coming to kill Penny in the future. So it's like he clearly blames Charles,
right?
But was it Kimi like acting out of orders, or was that always the plan from Widmore?
Right. I mean, I think too, like we heard, this is like where obviously there's a whole kind of, what's the word I want to look for? Not great relationship between these two. There's obviously some bad like blood here, but like I could see this being a more so of like Charles being like, do whatever it takes to get Ben, and Kimi being like, oh yeah, kill his daughter. That makes more sense. Like, and we see how messed up he is here. So, like, this is, I will have a moment of softness for Ben Michael in this moment, but I also will yell at him too. But yeah, good Lord, that man is crazy. But they do arrive to the helicopter. Frank, of course, was trying, like, poor Frank. He's like, they all left him. They're like, here's the toolbox, figure it out. We got to go get Hurley. Like, they couldn't like release him beforehand. But he's working on it, and they show back up, and Frank's like, crap. Also, a fun, like, this is kind of like a continuity, but like not really. They all like were, how did they not cross paths? They were on the same like road, like they're heading back from the Orchid to hit to the helicopter. They're leaving the helicopter to go to the Orchid. Like, how do they know?
The 815 survivors are like turned into others. They know the whisper paths.
Okay, perfect, love it. But no, so they do show up, and out of nowhere, Kate comes running out of the jungle, and we know that Kate and Saeed were captured by the others, and that so she comes up with the story of like, I'm being chased, and they're like, why, who, what, why, like all the like W questions, and she's like, by his people, like this is bad. And so then we start to go, okay, did she escape? Like, is this an actual thing? They put her down. They start to go like kind of like disperse to try and find the others. The others start their whole killing spree. It's like killers on killers in this moment.
I love that during this whole thing, there's like a silent conversation that's happening between Kate and Ben.
The eyes,
like,
and stuff.
Kate gets put down in front of Ben, and Ben is like looking at Kate. They're both looking at each other, and she's like, there's so much going on just between their eyes in that moment of like, hey, this is a plan, just follow my lead. And Ben's like, okay, I'll trust you, Kate, I guess. We've never been on the same side before, but maybe today's the day.
I do love that, because it's like, it'd be like one of those moments to be like, was that a look? Was that a look, or am I thinking that's a look? I don't know.
With me.
Right. Can you imagine if they got their like eyes crossed a little bit, like, you know, the blink happened when it wasn't supposed to have. Anyway, but yeah, so the others come in. Kate goes, we gotta go, this is the time, like run. And so they take off. Listen, I understand running with your arms tied is very difficult, but Ben makes it so funny. So funny. This man, like,
I think it looks funny on anyone.
What? What'd you say, Jake?
I said it, I think it looks funny on anyone. Like, I don't think there's a way to make that look good.
No, but I mean, his is more like frolicking through a field of daisies than running for your life. Yay for me! And of course, if he falls down, like, what do you expect? Would you expect anything less?
To be fair, and I won't be fair to Ben often because he's a jerk. But to be fair, he was just in a wheelchair not too long ago.
It's true. That's true.
It's true.
He had to be carried around and like lifted out of the bed and into the chair. So like, you know, this is progress.
The other thing that makes me laugh so much about this part is when he does fall, you see Kate off in the distance, and she's like, "Son of a bitch, you up on your feet!" Like, she like thinks for a moment, like, "Do I just keep running or do I go back?" Like, I do love that moment because like it's not, they don't focus on it, you know what I mean? But like she's like, idiot. Okay, I guess I'll help you up. Like, it makes me laugh every time. But of course, Kimi, he takes off right after them. He was hot on their heels, and Saeed comes out. You guys were like, this is the battle of the Titans. It was crazy.
Love. I also love that, like, size-wise, Saeed is significantly smaller, right? Mm-hmm. Like Kimi looks huge.
Yeah.
But Saeed's just like such a little scrappy badass that he's fighting and getting good hits in. I'm like, you go, Saeed. You beat that man up.
This is like the fight I didn't really even know I needed, and then as soon as it happened, I was like, oh my god, Saeed versus Kimi, are you kidding me? But let's not lose sight of the fact Kimi wins this fight.
He does technically.
He's much bigger than Saeed. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's Saeed.
Right. Michael was not prepared for that. We were all in the
Dude.
moment. I think all of us, again, because like we have at the very opening of Kate being like all the horrible things that happened that day. So like, I know for me, when I was watching this live and he's literally about to take Saeed's life, I'm like, are you kidding me? But then I'm like, wait, we're Oceanic 6. Okay, he's going to be fine. So what happens here? But like for a moment you go like, oh my God, is Saeed going to die? Like, but even though we know he's Oceanic 6 because you're like, oh my God, but thankfully Richard saves him.
Yeah, well, I was like, did they really just deal with Kimi that quickly for like all this build up? I was like, okay, Kimi can't really be dead that easily. I mean, obviously we'll get to the end of this episode where, it obviously seems like they dealt with him finally, but like, or Ben dealt with him, but like
They should have tied him up and tied him to a tree so he
right.
couldn't die.
Right.
But also, can you imagine though, like too, like we know that he had the dead man's trigger on, but like they all thought he was dead there too, but like they wouldn't have even known, you know what I mean? Like, cause he didn't tell anybody until later, you know what I mean? Like that could have been bad already. And they weren't even at the freezing part yet. Like we would have been in a lot more trouble, a lot more quickly. But yeah, obviously Richard saves Saeed. They cut. I also love this moment where Ben's like, okay, can you cut me free, Kate? And she's like, maybe.
Are we good? I still remember the time that you served me breakfast on the beach and told me how unpleasant my life was going to be.
Right. But I also love that he's like, cut me free, Kate. And then she's like taking a minute. He's like, right now, like, here. It's right here. Just cut between the line. You know what I mean? It makes me laugh too. Just all of the like eye emotions too, and the conversations that are without conversations. Yeah. But we also hear him say, "What was the deal that was made?
What was the arrangement?" Yep.
We've heard this before. And he's like, that they can go off the island. And Ben's like, oh, again. I was mad the last time. What do you mean?
Right.
He's like, okay, the helicopter's yours. Deal's a deal. See you later. But go now. I do it now because I've got to live.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, I want to hope that it doesn't get blown up again.
Well, like, the thing about this too is like Ben doesn't know that's, you know what I mean? Like this would be like different if Ben's like, sure, take the helicopter, you guys are all gonna blow up. You know what I mean? But he doesn't know these things either. He's just honoring the deal, like as he's a man of his word.
But I also think that's a big deal from Ben because like Ben did so much to try and keep them on the island, and he was so on the faith route of like, this is what I'm supposed to do. And now this new Ben, post Alex being shot into the head in front of him, like Ben's like, yeah, fuck it. Whatever. Like, you saved my life. Like, yeah, set yourselves away. I don't really care too much. And also we know that Ben was assuming that his people had already written him off. Like he was saying, like, if my people cared about me, they'd have come save me a long time ago. So I think there's a part of Ben that was like, huh, they actually came and saved me. I wasn't expecting that to happen. That's pretty cool. So yeah. Take the helicopter.
Take the helicopter. I don't need it. But yeah, so then we get to another like flash forward. We've got Michael's mom coming back or coming to see Hurley with Walt. Like tears, like the amount of tears in this episode, so bad. But like, gosh, this part with Walt is so heartbreaking when he's like, when you guys all came back and no one came.
Yes.
Oh my God, this poor kid. I can't, like, because we know from the Michael situation that he went to the house and she's like, I don't know what you did to that boy. I don't know what you told him. And we know that Michael was a jackass and told him that he killed everybody and did all these horrible things. So for him to like have that and then to see other people that he was there with, I can finally talk about my time because I wasn't allowed to with my dad. Like we had to have this whole secret. And then for none of them to show up, you guys are all assholes. Assholes. Every single one of you, except for baby Aaron, turnip head.
Hurley went to Korea to see son.
Right. Why didn't you go to Walt?
And you couldn't go to New York? Mm-hmm. Come on, Hurley. You're the good guy.
I know. No, it's yeah, especially when we know that with Hurley, like that he was the one that's kind of like people are showing up for the birthday parties. He went to Korea for son. But also like you see in Hurley's face in that moment when Walt brings that up is he's like, oh shit, yeah, that was a dick move. That was a dick move. Like you can see yeah. But he also brings up, I don't know why you guys are lying. Like, I don't know why this lie is happening. I've heard your guys' story on the news. I don't get it. Like, also, Walt, how do you not get it when you and your dad also lied? But
yeah, I know, right?
See, each their own. He's a kid. We'll let it slide. But he's talking about, like Jeremy Bentham came to see him. So this is where we get Locke coming and seeing him again. But we have Hurley saying we have to protect everyone else. So now we get like at least why they're lying. So of course we'll get more into detail later in the episode. But now at least we're like, okay, they have a purpose, which we all still were not crazy. Well, at least I wasn't like crazy about the lie. But at least we got a little bit more knowledge on that. But back to Sawyer and Hurley. They are having a chance to chat. And he's like, thanks for coming back for me, dude. I can't. And then Sawyer still trying to be his badass. He's like, yeah, yep. No,
but like, try to be a badass, but like he can't do it as well anymore. He's like, no. I mean, it's whatever.
Maybe I'm like reading too much into it, but I still think that Sawyer feels like a little bit embarrassed when he's doing like genuinely good things. Where it's like, that's not cool. Like, I used to be cool. Now I'm like saving people.
Right. Exactly.
He genuinely cares about him, and he was willing to risk his life to save Hurley. Like,
no,
but he just can't like admit it.
I know. But then we also get this very sad moment of, are Claire and the baby okay? Throw my hands up in the air. I can't, like, because like they obviously don't know that Claire took off. Like, you know what I mean? That's just, we know that Hurley left her, like she just got blown out of a house and she was a little wobbly. You know what I mean? So like he's just like, Claire, the baby okay? And Sawyer's just like,
but also like
those crackers.
Those 15-year-old crackers, yeah.
Talk about that later.
Yeah. And like Claire is Charlie's girlfriend, and Charlie was his best friend, and he's supposed to like watch out for her.
Yeah, it is a rough one.
It's a real good news, bad news situation on that.
Yeah,
it's like
right. Aaron's great.
Turnip Head's fine.
But we also obviously they're sitting over here because Locke and Jack have to have a conversation. I think that this is one of the times that like I don't have the hatred for Locke that Kevin does. I also don't have the love for Locke that Michael does. But I think that Locke did a very good job, and we've seen him be completely irrational at times. But he says one thing here with them that I'm just like, snap, Jack, when he's like, if you can lie, he tells them that you have to lie. This is where the whole thing comes from. But he does say, if you can lie to them as well as you lie to yourself, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. But like, we have this whole moment here. This is one of the main reasons why I'm going to shit on Jack here. And it wasn't for him trying to be the leader and he's not always perfect. The fact that you were a doctor and you can sit there and say there are no miracles. You literally made a girl walk that was not supposed to walk. So literally go fuck yourself, Jack. No, you can't even defend it.
No, I'm kind of agreeing with Kristin right now, just because, I mean, yeah, Jack literally did that. And so, I mean, I understand he's kind of like the person that's going to believe in realism, and I do understand that. But, I mean, clearly he's helped people like achieve the impossible.
I feel like I should agree with Kristin because she's on my side, but I feel like I'm veering over into Kevin territory because I totally understand why Jack doesn't see that as a miracle. That is like Jack being very talented at what he does, and like, could it be miraculous in terms of the show that we've seen? Like, absolutely, but like Jack's world is not that. But
that was science. That wasn't a miracle. That was. That was
just out of a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, Free Island.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is, like, I mean, you're in witness of all these things. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you're in witness of everything that's happened. You know that Rose, like, you had a conversation with Rose way back when she's like, the island, like, she didn't go into the full of like, island has healed me, but like, she's given him reasons, like, I know my husband's alive, and in walks Bernard. Like, there's no. He told everybody there's no way the tail leaves survived. No way the tail leaves survived. Guess what? Here walks in a few of them. There's been miracles all around him. I don't want to hear it.
Kevin.
Okay, thank you, Jake. No, like you have to keep in mind. This is a man of science. This is a man who believes that like things don't just happen, like that there is a cause and effect. So he is not in a position, he doesn't have the medical equipment to study, like to find out, is Rose really okay? Right? Like what happened to Locke? Why is he walking? He doesn't know these things. So there's that. And then there's the other stuff of like, yeah, the island heals people, except for that guy got a tumor on his spine that I had to remove, right? Like, the island heals people, but I got appendicitis, right? So, like, you have to understand that there is, like, for someone who is basing everything on, like, observable science, like, okay, well, there's things that I can't explain right now, but that doesn't make it a miracle. That doesn't make it magic. Just because I can't explain it right now doesn't mean that there isn't an explanation for it.
I do want to talk about this John Locke Jack scene as well, because it's one of my favorite scenes. And the fact that Locke is apparently not just the chosen man, the chosen boy, he's a future seer. Like, he reads Jack exactly what his future is going to be with perfect accuracy, that, like, if you leave this place, it's going to eat you alive until you reach the point where you realize you have to come back. And we already have seen the future. That is exactly where Jack's going to end up. Like, everything Locke said to Jack in this scene is exactly what happened. And yeah, the whole, if you lie to them as well as you lie to yourself, you'll be fine.
That's such a good line.
John Locke, you wonderful man.
Well, and before he has a chance to say that line, I threw all of that whole conversation together because obviously there were bits and pieces. But this is where Ben does show back up, and he's like, "Couldn't find the flowers, couldn't you, John?"
I love that Jack points a gun at him, and he's like, "It's nice to see you too, Jack."
But I love that he's like, "Couldn't find the flowers, couldn't you, John?" He's like, "I don't even know what they look like," and he's like, "If you walk over here you go." Like,
he like gives them a little wiggle, like, "Come on."
I know, and we'll see later that he literally pulls out like the parent mode down in the Orchid station. But like, he's so parenting John in the last couple episodes, where he's like, "Can I have my binoculars, John? Like, here's a toy for you. Let me have my mirror." But yeah, no, it's just this dynamic together. These two have made me laugh a lot in the last couple episodes. But that's where he does say that to Jack, like, lie to them. Lie to yourself. They go down in this fancy elevator. That who would have thought that was going to happen here? But we've seen.
Is it a fancy elevator? That elevator seems real janky.
Well, I mean, but do you expect on an island to be an elevator? Like even Locke, when they're in the elevator later, he's like, "How deep is this thing?" Like, you know what I mean?
No. Getting on the elevator, it's the word fancy that I'm like, Kristin.
I just meant like fancy in a way of like, it's a deep, that is an island and we should not, like, how deep is this island? You know what I mean? But anyway, that's where we do leave that group. And Ben also says something to Jack here that is very important. He's like, have fun on the boat, but be on there within the hour because I'm about to do some crazy stuff down here in the Orchid. So you better get a move on. And he also lets them know, like, Saeed and them are waiting for you at the helicopter. Have, like, au revoir. See you later. It's been real.
One last thing on that as well. It is also amazing when Locke says, like, when he's talking about everyone's been brought there for a reason, he's like, if you can't believe that, Jack, just wait and see what I'm about to do.
Yeah.
And, like, that is going to pay off in such a huge way where even Hurley's going to be like, Jack, like, come on, dude.
I'll get to that moment too. Maybe that's when you'll jump back on my side because,
I am on your side, but yeah.
You just slid a little over into that direction.
I jumped the line.
I have to bring you back over. Anyway, go back to the freighter here where they are freezing the battery. This is the best plan that they can come up with at this point. Michael, good for you. That was it was a really great idea, except for the fact that you have one canister. I also, like, there are so many things that play in my head of, like, because they even ask it too, like, well, why not just freeze it when the light goes off? And he's like, no, it needs to be frozen before that. What bugs me about this situation is, and I don't know, obviously I'm not like chemistry and like freezing of batteries, but like, couldn't you freeze it for a little bit and then give it, like, he's constantly got the whatever it was called, Syro something, but like, can't you freeze it and then when it starts to thaw out, like, you know what I mean? Like, why couldn't you break this up a little bit so you had a little bit more time?
Like, how cold does it need to be?
Right. I mean, granted, they don't know either, so they're just like, we have to, like, hope that this works. But yeah, I always like that, like, just because we know the fate of what's going to happen, I'm like, can't you just take a break, give a little bit more time, itty bitty more time? But yeah, so they are trying to freeze the battery. While he's doing that, that's when Desmond's like, Jin, grab this paper, we're going to trace every line. And they're trying everything. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what makes it so heartbreaking is they were trying anything and everything. This is their last, like, this is the boat. They have to have the boat. Like, they have to have this boat. And we know how bad Desmond wants out of here. We know how bad Desmond wants out of here. And then, of course, Kevin's been saying it for years at this point that Sun has to get off the island. So we all know that this is like, they have to fix this. They have to fix this. But with that, Dan also returns to the island with the Zodiac. And he's like, okay, thanks, Juliet, for rounding everybody up. I'm going to go actually help my friends and not tell you anything that's happening. Okay, thanks. I'll be right back. But he goes to Miles and Charlotte. This is where my tagline comes in, because Rose is reading for Miles for both of like, who said you could have our nuts? And he's like, can I have them? And she's like, I'm watching you. Like, she's so mad about these.
She's so funny.
Oh my God, I love it. Rose hardly ever appears, but when she does, she makes an impact. And she almost would be my favorite character if it wasn't for Sawyer.
Do you know what made it even better? It was just Rose.
Right. You had that moment with Bernard. You can't stand him. It's just like turnip head. But he does this also makes me laugh, where he's like walking up to Miles and Charlotte. He's like, Miles. He's like, something wrong with your neck, bro? He's like,
Miles
he
is so funny in these like couple of scenes. He has so many great lines.
He does.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have this little conversation. He's like, hey, I'm not telling anybody else, just because you guys are my besties. Some shit's about to go down. I need you to get off this like island. Like, we gotta go. Like, because we know that he knows about the Orchid. He knows about like all the things that are going down there. And so he's like, yeah, let's go. And Miles is like, no, thanks. I'm gonna stay here, more nuts, and get yelled at by Rose. Sounds like a grand party. But Charlotte's like, okay, I'll meet you there in 10 minutes. And then we get something from Miles here with Charlotte. He goes, I'm kind of shocked you want to leave. And you've been here before. And she's like, huh, what? What are you doing?
She's like, I don't know. Like, what do you, don't be silly.
What are you talking about? But this is like something where we haven't gotten much from like these people, obviously. We got a little bit of their backstories and stuff when we were first getting introduced to them. But like, what do you mean, Miles? What is this, pray tell, that you're talking about? So that was like a huge like revelation of like, okay, has Charlotte been here before?
Yeah, I was wondering, because and then what she says later in the episode, she doesn't remember where she was born either. So I'm trying to piece together everything that we know, and like from like her first scene of like with the digging up the polar bear skeleton, like I guess I still have no idea what they're trying to do with her, because we just haven't gotten enough of that storyline yet, but I do find it interesting.
We love a good redhead story. It's gonna be great.
Miles is such a little shit as well, because he's like, after everything you did to get back here, and then she's like, what do you mean? He's like, what do I mean? And just walks away. Like,
oh my God.
He's like, I'm gonna go eat some more nuts. I'm gonna see if Rose has a problem with the cereal too. I love that. Anyway, well, for the sake of wrapping this up, which we're nowhere near because this is going to be a long one, so hopefully you guys can like buckle in with us. But we do have John and Ben in the elevator. This is where he's like, how deep is this like station? Because they are in that, and as Kevin pointed out, it's kind of a rinky dink. Like, what if it like crashes? That
was like high tech in the 50s. That's what kind of elevator it is, and hasn't been maintained or updated since then.
Right.
I guess 70s was.
I mean, it's probably actually 70s, but
yeah. I'm
just talking shit because.
I mean, Kevin was alive for both, so he would know.
It all blends together. It was the 1900s.
His memory isn't what it used to be, folks. But anyway, with that, they do get down to the station. Of course, Ben goes immediately to work, and Locke. This is where I like literally laugh so hard because it's so apparent move where he's like, what about this? What are you doing here? Why are you doing this? And he's like, here's a little video. I want you to watch this, and I'm going to go do what I need to do over here. Like, it's such a parent thing to do of being like, here's your tablet. Here's your, like, a craft. Shut up and let me go do my thing. Like, I've got things to do. But that it always makes me laugh as a parent. But one of the main things that he's hearing in this video that's not quite working is do not put metal in this, like, whatever this is. And he's literally just like putting metal in, and he's like, wait, Ben, did you hear this on the, I love it. But he does say something or hear something in this video that is a big thing. He hears the word time travel, and I love it. Immediately video just stops working, starts rewinding. He's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But he goes up to bed and he's like, did I just hear what I thought I just heard? And he's like, time traveling bunnies? Yeah, okay, like move away. I got some more stuff I gotta do. But we do hear the elevator going back up, and Locke being like, you expecting somebody? And he's like, can I have my weapon back? Like, this isn't gonna be good. This isn't gonna be good.
I mean, Ben's pretty good with his weapon. So, like, the drop of time travel is a hugely unexpected thing. Like, the show's always been pretty crazy, but I wasn't expecting, like, time traveling bunnies. Like, Jake, I know you're, like, the time travel guy. You like the whole Marvel thing.
Yeah,
like,
I see this as an absolute win right now, but
yeah, like what he says is the rabbit's just going to go a few milliseconds, right? So it's not going to be like a huge time jump. It's just going to be a little bit, but it's going to be just enough for this experiment to work. As long as you don't put metal in the room.
And it's also interesting. It also kind of ties in. We've seen little bits of it. Not quite. This is like physically the rabbit has been moved, whereas we've seen Daniel doing similar experiments where the Eloise, the rat, with her like mind was being moved into the future a certain amount of time. So it's like starting to get into some real sci-fi things here.
Shit. Did you mean to say shit?
No, I love it. Are you kidding me?
No, Jake, you perked up so exciting when you heard the word time traveling bunny. You were like,
yes.
What?
Yeah, I find that really fascinating. I mean, obviously we've had Desmond's flashes, and obviously we've had the flash forwards and the flashbacks throughout the whole show. So I mean, it's kind of been time travel all along, but like kind of having it like be called out in the show itself at this point is really cool. And I don't know, like I honestly was thinking also like I thought the end of this would probably like reveal something about like the smoke monster. Obviously we're still not there yet, but like I thought that's something that they were trying to set up to wrap up here, because obviously we had gotten Ben saying to Locke of like, you want to know what the smoke monster is, we can ask Jacob. And so like, and then clearly that hasn't paid off yet. But I have expected at this point for like suddenly the bunnies have actually been the smoke monster all along. So
I don't know if Locke just forgot to ask that question. He got distracted in the whole Claire of it all, and then
Kristin,
like, we're gonna move the island now, and I guess he forgot
He was like,
to ask the question he went there to ask.
Yeah, he's like, was there something I was here for? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I imagine them walking like back from the cabin and being like, shit, like.
Actually, hold on, I got to run back in.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and it's gone. He's like, crap, can we go find another map for Morris?
And actually, I
Early,
want
I
to
need
ask
you to
about
find
those
it again.
whispers as well. Like, what are they about?
Oh my gosh, so many questions remain unknown. Well, we also have this mini reunion back at the helicopter, which like this whole Kate and Sawyer like glancing at one another, of course, gets interrupted by Jack because she's concerned about Jack because he obviously just had his appendix out. But I love that he was like, what'd you do? What this one do to piss you off, Freckles? And she's like, I didn't kill that one. He's like, which one did you kill? But they
She didn't kill any of them.
She didn't. She didn't do shit.
She's trying to sound all badass. She did nothing. She ran away with Ben.
Right, I know. It makes me laugh. But anyway, so I mean, I guess she maybe kind of helped them die by showing up and being the diversion. We'll give her that.
She helped.
She was in on the plan, yeah.
Right. But anyway, so yeah, so they have their like mini reunion. They of course all get on this island or get on the helicopter. That's the plan. They're gonna get off, off the island. This scene makes me tear up every time of like it was like when they got off the raft for the first time and like them like being like, we're off the island, like we're off, like them raising up in that helicopter and them like looking above the trees. They're like not actually touching sand right now. This is fantastic. Like
I said, it's Kate takes a breath and it's like she's breathing for the first time in the months they've been on the island of like, it's happening.
I agree. It's
a very triumphant feeling that's not going to last, but she does have it for a minute, and that's nice.
Yes. talk about this more, and we're going to talk about the bomb, but I have a distraction over here that I have to attend to. But they are back on the freighter, and they're working on the bomb. Desmond thinks he has it figured out. And thankfully, Jin's like, stop! Don't do it! But yeah, so, I mean, we got a lot of things happening because we know that the helicopter is headed straight for that, and we are working on empty on this freezing thing. So it's...
that thing's almost empty. There is seemingly no way to disarm it.
Right.
They can't figure it out. Maybe if there was like a bomb expert, maybe if the guy in the big suit was there, like maybe he would know what to do. Unfortunately, it's just Desmond in his half-buttoned shirt. So he doesn't know. Jin has a nice little diagram. He doesn't know.
Jin's got like a basic understanding of English. He's just learned the word boom, and now he's trying to disarm a bomb.
Yeah.
Jin is like, I don't know if I'm qualified for this situation, really, but I'm here.
I'm just trying to get off the island with my pregnant wife.
Right. And then Desmond is pretty soon going to run out and be like, no, don't come back to the boat. Don't land. And they're like, yes, land.
We have no real choice.
Well, and because of that, obviously the next scene, they are flying over to head to the freighter, and they're losing fuel. And of course, they see that during that massive gunfight that it had like the ricocheted into the fuel tank. Fantastic. Love this thrust. Like it's just one thing after another. Can we get a break, please? Please, anything. But no, they are losing fuel, and he's like, get everything off this so it's not bolted down. Get it out of here. We need to lighten this load. And of course, that still doesn't work. And he makes the joke of, wish we were a couple 100 pounds lighter. And they go to Hurley. Stop.
But you can see him, feel him. But this is actually really like deliberate. Hurley had a whole thing in his flashback. The reason he was in Santa Rosa is he went onto this pier and it collapsed, and he accidentally, through no fault of his own, it was badly made, but he caused the death of like a dozen people or whatever it was, and now he's in this situation where
exactly.
If I was not on this helicopter, they'd probably be fine. And like just seeing that like in him is just so heartbreaking.
Well, and also the numbers, and the numbers are bad. I'm bad luck because you know what I mean. The numbers, like there's a lot of emotion, but also I know why we went there. But that was not a great like moment of like, let's go to the fat guy. Like that's just his, and we know that he was like struggled with that. We heard him even when like they were doing their interview when they got off island. They're like, how'd you guys maintain? He's like, I think that's directed at me because I didn't like lose a bunch of pounds. We've heard it when he was doing the Libby thing, and he's like, I'm not turning any heads, but I've dropped a couple belt sizes. You know what I mean? So like he has struggled with this for a long time.
I would also say that like, I mean, it's the thing a lot of people are going to think like to get rid of the most weight, and you would expect Sawyer from the day after the plane crash to make a sarcastic comment,
right?
And instead we get Sawyer being like, okay, well, I'm a couple 100 pounds. Like doesn't even make a comment, doesn't even make a suggestion, doesn't say anything, like never makes Hurley even question that it should be him. Like Sawyer just does it.
And he just went through so much to save Hurley. Like, to get him to this point. Like he's not going to let Hurley go. I also, before we get to Sawyer's heroism, I just want to point out like I love the desperation in Jack, where Frank's like, we got to put it down on the beach. Jack's like, do not go back to the island. Like, if we put this helicopter down the island, we ain't got no fuel. This helicopter's useless. It's a fancy new shelter and nothing more. Like just, I don't care what happens. We have to get to the boat. This is it.
Yeah. No, and I mean, it's going to be their new cave, I guess, if it goes back to but yes, listen, I started tearing up when Kevin was even just talking about it because, yes, in this moment, my man, I should have worn my Sawyer shirt today, but my man does not give Hurley even the chance to think it. He leans over, tells something to Kate, which we do not know. We hear a little whisper. We can't really make anything out. And then she's like, why are you telling me this? And he's like, just do it, Freckles, and jumps out of the helicopter to save them. And oh my God, it's just like, it's heartbreaking because we know, like, they've worked so hard. We're at 4 seasons now that they've been trying to get off this island. He jumped on the raft in season 1. Like, it's just so heartbreaking to be like, but I guess in his mind at that point is like, okay, that's fine. They can get there. I'm just going to swim back to the island. They're going to get the boat over there. I'm going to be back on the boat here in a second. We know what's going to happen later when he finally makes it back to shore. But for that moment of, we did not expect season 1 Sawyer to ever be where he is now, and for him to do that was just.
Well, and I don't know how much has been communicated to Sawyer, but we know they need to be on that boat within the hour.
Right.
Like, we know that. So, like, I don't know how much Jack has relayed that to Sawyer, but, like, in that, like, for us, that's like, oh man, it's the same thing with Julia in the Zodiac. Like, no, I said to get everyone off the island, and we're like, no, Julia, no.
But also, after what we know happens, thank God, you know what I mean?
But like they don't know what we know, so we're like, no.
Yeah.
So maybe they think that there is more time, but there's not more time.
Not more time, no. But yeah, so go ahead.
On this as well, sorry, the big thing as well, Jake, like, we know that Kate is doing something for Sawyer. We've seen that be like a thing in the flash forwards. And then here we get the whispered message. Like, do you have any idea of like what Sawyer could be trying to get Kate to do?
I was thinking something with either make sure Hurley's okay, or make sure, I don't know, like, take care of Hurley. I honestly think that it could be that, based on their relationship now, with his relationship with Hurley. I honestly was wondering, based on Kristin's reaction, and I thought Sawyer was about to jump to his death, to be honest. And I was like, oh my God, this is actually how we lose Sawyer. So, I mean,
Kristin would not be. Someone else would have to do the narration for the episode, I think.
The entire episode, not even just this part. I would be inconsolable. I can't do it. Oh God, that's what I'm saying. Like, stop putting these things out into the universe. Can we stop? Like, they made an alternate ending where he was in the coffin. I need them to stop playing with that fact that Sawyer can die. It's just not going to work for me. But we get back to the island. Of course, this is where Charlotte says, "Looking for the place I was born. I'm staying." And Daniel's like, "Oh, okay, well, and I don't know if you're going to make it, but okay, sure. I'm going to go back to the Zodiac now." But then this is also the part where Juliet, he's like, "So I'm assuming you're not getting on the Zodiac with me?" And she's like, "No, I'm such a good heroine. I'm going to stay like I'm supposed to, and I'm going to make sure everybody gets off the island." And we're all sitting there, Juliet, no! Stop it, no! Get on the boat. Get on the boat, Jack. But anyway, sorry, Titanic moment. Anyway, but with that, of course, Daniel takes off with this whole new group of people that we've never seen before in our lives. So thank you, extras, for filling the Zodiac. It was fantastic knowing you for about 2 seconds.
That's actually another point we should just put a pin in, because we see Daniel head out on his little Zodiac. That's the last time we see Daniel. And then we're going to get into a whole bunch of craziness. We don't see him at the boat. The island is kind of going to go AWOL. Like, where did Daniel end up? That's like another question mark we have.
Yeah, no, for sure. With that, of course, we get the... I don't want to talk about it because I'm going to be so upset. But we get the elevator coming down. We've turned all the lights off. They're hiding. Kimi emerges from the elevator. Thank God he didn't die. Ugh, whatever. I hate him so much. I wanted him to die. But of course, we know that he can't die because of what he's about to let Ben and everybody know.
Yeah.
But he comes down. He's like, "Oh, my little vest saved my life. It's been known to take a bullet." This cocky ass mother effer. I hate him so much. And of course, he's down there and he's like, "I've taken out my life insurance policy. Here's my dead man's trigger. So if I die, big explosion, huge mountain of C4 waiting for all your friends there at the freighter." And
a lot of innocent people, Ben.
A lot of innocent people,
like,
don't do it.
Gold in him.
Yeah. No, and not on top of that, it's like he is not, this is horrible. I hate even talking about this. The fact that he's like, the look of your daughter as I shot her and lying face down in the dirt. Like, this is where I feel for Ben, because if you talk about my kid like that, I 100% am killing you too. I don't get, like, we get this moment where, of course, he does come out and goes to town. Kimi deserves it. Deserves every moment of it. And of course, I mean, Locke obviously is trying to stop this before Ben comes out with emotion. He's like, "Yeah, you need to stop. I have that dude hidden in there and I'm trying to keep him calm, but this isn't working. Let's not," and say we did. And he's like, "Where's your buddy?" You know, like, this cockiness from this man, he deserves everything that he gets. However, we have people that we love and cherish on the freighter that we need him to stay alive for. And the fact that Ben comes out of that locker and goes to town, all of us are like, yes, no, yes, but no. Like, we're just like, the emotion of the back and forth, how to feel about this moment is gut-wrenching.
The brutality of it. Like, he stabs him twice in the throat. Like,
Yeah.
you killed my daughter, and just 2 stabs. And again, I'm not going to be popular. I don't blame Ben at all. Like, is there like horrific ramifications to his actions? Absolutely. But like, if you saw the man who like executed your child in front of you, like, how much does Ben really care about these, random survivors that he's like? He's not thinking about the boat. I don't think he wanted to blow up the boat, or I just don't think in that moment he saw red and it's like, the only thing I care about, this guy is dying right now.
Listen, daughter, if he did that to my cats, I'd kill him. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no.
I don't blame Ben.
Listen, do I understand, as someone who's watching the show and knowing multiple character perspectives, do I understand that this is the wrong thing to do? I understand that. Can I blame him? Not really.
No, like, this is where it gets tricky, because again, like, as we're all watching that, we're like, yes, he's like handing it to this guy, but also no, oh my God, what about all of our people on the boat?
Yeah.
That as a parent, again, like, if Kevin's like, you do it to my cat, yes, 100%. Like, this is happening. I don't even need to see red. I don't even need you to speak. When I get in contact with you, you are dying. Like, you took my kid's life.
Now, to be clear, my cat is my son, who
correct.
I birthed.
But it's the comment afterwards when Locke is trying to save Kimi because there's people on the boat, and he goes, "You just killed everyone on the boat," and he's like, "So."
That's the dick
Where
part.
Ben gets in trouble with me because you are such a dick. Listen, I was going to be on your side, Ben. I understand as a parent, like, I feel for you in this moment, but for him to be like, so.
Yeah.
It goes back to like old Ben too, of like, sure, Juliet, I'll make the deal with you that you can take the submarine. Like, oh, whoops, did I let the submarine blow up? How did that happen?
Oopsie.
Right? Like, oh, I made this deal and like Kate can go. Oh no. Is the boat gonna blow up before Kate gets there? Shucks. Right? Like, it's very that. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, Ben.
Fuck you, Ben.
Yeah, this is just a crazy moment that, I totally get it as well, but and it is well within Ben's character to not care about too many people. I mean, he's been like the antagonist to this entire show so far, from season 2, and like, it makes sense for him to do this, but obviously it's not a great decision. And the coldest line of him just not caring that he just did this. I mean, it's you kind of can guess what's going to happen. I mean, obviously we knew that Jin wasn't making it and something was going to happen. And so, yeah.
It is also one of my favorite Ben lines because it is so cool. Just like, so, I don't give a shit. Are you kidding me?
Can't
my revenge. I'm not thinking about anything right now. I'm living the high life.
Can't wait for the commenters to roast Michael again.
I don't know if I can. Or you can, but I don't know that I'll care.
No.
If someone in the comments disagrees with you, you should just say so.
No.
You think I've got a bad day? So podcast, dummy.
I think, again, everybody understands the rage that Ben is feeling in this moment. It's the not giving a crap about anybody else that makes it like, damn, Ben, like, dick. So, anyway, moving on. We got Saeed showing up at... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So, with this being, like, the end of episode 1, could we have a quick, like, toilet break?
Yeah, we can pause.
Perfect. So let's get this show back on the road after potty breaks for Michael here.
Is that staying in?
So staying in.
Okay.
I love you, Michael, but it's staying in. No, Jake can cut that. Anyway.
No, it's fine. I don't care. We all wait.
It's
Okay,
just
this
so funny. It's not that it's not true. It's just it's the British slang of you saying it that makes it funny.
I went for a little wee.
Okay, this is now a short. This is a short. This is
Now-
100%
now-
a short.
The annoying thing is, if I said nothing, it probably would have been cut. But now
Now it has to be. Now it has
now
to be.
we have to do it. Fantastic. You know what you need to do? You know that little like the old style cinema like intermission thing? So like with the popcorn doing the little dance.
Let's all go to the lobby.
Dancing
Yes.
to the toilet.
Yeah, that.
absolute cinema.
Anyway, all right, let's get back on track here. So we do have Saeed showing up at Santa Rosa. There's this car parked outside. He asked for the time, which was 8:15, and he immediately shoots the guy. Walks into Santa Rosa. They need better security. First of all, there's a guy.
This is minimum security facility. This is
Right.
these are not the dangerous criminal people. This is
Oh my gosh,
these are
so
the
bad.
Hurleys.
It's so bad. But yeah, so Saeed does come to Hurley. Hurley's, of course, playing chess with an empty chair, which we'll learn is Mr. Echo. But he's like, so, Hurley, I'm going to need you. What?
You need a wee.
Okay, but like remember earlier when he was seeing Charlie and we weren't sure if he was really seeing Charlie. This to me says it was not really Charlie, right? That he is seeing people who aren't there. So even though Charlie slapped him and we felt like that was a sign that like somehow this was really the ghost of Charlie here, I think that this is a sign that actually he's just seeing people. And
Well,
maybe Hurley is actually a little crazy.
Well, and obviously he had his imaginary friend Dave that he thought was real. So it's been a thing since season 2 that Hurley's been dealing with this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even pre-Island. So, yeah.
It would also make you kind of like lose grip on reality of who is real. Like when Saeed walks in, is he like, oh, I guess Saeed died. Okay, cool.
Right?
Do you want to play chess? Sit down next to Mr. Echo.
But also, I do think that, I mean, from what we've seen with Hurley, is it seems like to be a coping mechanism for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like to cope with everything that's happened. We, again, know that all this crazy stuff happens here on that day that they're, that they got off the island. So I think that this is like a coping mechanism for him. He like was devastated to learn about Charlie dying. Now it's like, I need to like hang out with all my people that were on the island. Was I on an island? I don't even know at this point. Like he's just out there. He's losing it. But Saeed tells him like, you got to come with me. Jeremy Bentham is dead, which of course is Locke. And he's like, we're not going back to the island though, right? He's like, no, not happening. We are not doing that. I just need you to come with me because there's people trying to kill you. I got to protect you. Let's go. And then he's like, hold on. And he's like, checkmate, Mr. Echo. And we're like, what? Mr. Echo? Because if anything, like from the past, we would have assumed that Charlie was on probably sitting in that chair. You know what I mean? So to throw in Mr. Echo is just kind of like oh, Mr. Echo, we haven't talked about you in a long time. How are you? Yes. But yeah, so with that, we go back to the island. They're desperately searching for the boat. The freighter they cannot find it. He stayed on the course. Where's the boat? Of course, they fixed the engine and moved it. So like, they don't know any of this has happened. And he's like, because we do know you have to stay on this course. Like it's been like jammed into our brains about this. And so they're desperately searching because they're still losing fuel. And then he's like, if anybody else wants to jump, like we need to find this ship right now. And all of a sudden Hurley does see it. He's like, it's behind us because of course they moved it. So thankfully, yay, we're going to get to the freighter. Well, we're not going to get to the freighter. This is where Michael has been telling them like, all right, I only have a little bit left. You guys need to get out of here. You need to get everybody off this boat. Like it's going to blow up. Like at any moment, like as soon as this freezing thing is done, we are screwed. And we also have, while they're heading back to this freighter of doom, if you want to call it that at this point, we have Locke desperately trying to save Kimi, which, I mean, if any other circumstances, we're like, just let him die. But right. We have a big problem here. And of course, Ben's just like, whatever.
Take the bulletproof vest off, right? So you can get more, like...
He already took it off. He was tripping down when he was being cocky. He already took that thing off.
Listen, I'm just saying, do everything you can because you need to keep that heart beating, keep blood flowing, keep the pulse going as long as you can. Because
that is the thing, though, too. Like, I mean, granted, like he dies here. You know, Locke cannot save him. But like for what we know of CPR, if you continuously do CPR, that is going to pump, like is going to make a heart beat. Obviously, when you stop, like you've seen in any medical shows, obviously those are not real, but like CPR is there to keep a heartbeat going. So like Locke, get some muscles out and just start beating on this guy's chest, please.
Forever.
He only knows about knives. He doesn't know about CPR.
Forever.
Just when we thought Saul was going to be like the most heartless thing Ben could ever say, like he follows it up in this scene where Locke's like, please help me. Like if he dies, everyone's going to die on the boat. And he's like, it's really not my problem, John. You know, it's like, he just washes his hands of the entire situation.
Listen, we love a revenge tour, Ben, but this is not the time because we have people that we desperately care about on this freighter. But yes, sadly, he dies. It turns red. Of course, that is the moment on the freighter where it. Yes, oh my God! If you raise.
No, I was also going to say, as we know from other parts of the episode, he's saying his belief is that he is going to move the island, and he is not allowed to come back to the island. So he is also like, he's probably in a general like fuck you mood, right? Of like I don't care. Like my life is over, so I don't really care about anybody else's, right? Like it's probably that at that moment too.
All the sacrifices that he's made for the island, his daughter included, and it's like now I'm gonna have to be banished. Like fuck this.
Where's John Locke's famous line to just say it's a sacrifice the island demanded?
There you go. Exactly. It would have been the perfect place for it. I do also love that like Ben as Kimi is dying, like gets right in his face. Like the last thing Kimi sees is Ben's eyes, where he's like, Widmore will find you. He's like, not if I find him first.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
he does. He does find him first. He goes to the penthouse to find him.
That is true. Yeah, no, Ben he 100% doubled down on that, on all of it. He's done. He's done. But of course, we do get back to the freighter. They're like, Desmond, you got to go. The bomb is now triggered. You got to get people out of here. Jin is like, I'm going to still stay. And we're like, Jin, no, Jin, please. We know that you're going to die. Just not make it yet.
Right. Like this is where we start to get the like, oh, this is why.
This is why. Yeah. No, I mean, we're all not prepared for it, even though we've already known for a while, but man, this is like, please, Jin, just like make it another season. Please. We know you're going to die at some point, but make it another season. But the helicopter is returning, of course, when Desmond comes out onto the dock of is that deck? Dock? What? Anyway.
The deck of the.
Sure.
Someone's washing the deck, and I'm just like, not the time.
Right, not the time. Put the hose away. Put the hose away. But yeah, I do love that part too, because like they focus in on this like hose washing. He's like, I'm just trying to make it great for them when the people arrive from the island. Like I'm scrubbing the floors. No. But yes, he does come out. He starts to gather life vests, but sees the helicopter approaching. He's like, no, do not land. Bomb. They would never.
My favorite continuity thing of the show is them being like, did he say bomb? You would not have heard
you. You wouldn't
have heard shit.
Not a chance. Did he say bomb? You can't even hear each other on this helicopter. Yeah. You don't have the headset on. You can't even hear each other. You certainly didn't hear the guy in the boat.
Right. Several feet out. Yeah, but they, of course, the helicopter does land because they have no other choice. Like at this point, they have no fuel. They have to get here. Yeah. They have no option. But of course, once they get there, they're immediately like approached with chaos. Okay, we've got a bomb. It's now triggered. We have very limited time. Frank's like, can you guys stop panicking? Let me duct tape this shit. Like, we're good to go, guys.
Throw me the duct tape.
I don't trust a lot of things, but I do trust duct tape.
Duct tape is duct tape. But he's of course like, start filling this up. We gotta get back out of here. We see all the chaos. Of course, Sun immediately is like, okay, I'm going with Aaron. We're taking Aaron and we're gonna go get my man. And then Kate's like, no, we can't. She's like, Jin's down there. I've got it. And she's like, okay, I'll get him. It's fine. Get Aaron on the helicopter. I will go get him. All the chaos of all of this, and it's just devastating because we know what's going to happen. But like that's the last thing that Sun hears is like, sure, okay, I'll hold Aaron.
Well, and like we know Aaron ends up with Kate. Like it would make more sense, kind of like in a not chaotic moment, for Kate to take Aaron,
right,
and let Sun go get Jin. Sun has also been in the freighter and knows where she's going more, right? But like,
But
Kate's
also,
like, no, you get on the helicopter. I will do this, and then like ends up not being able to find him.
well, I mean, but also on top of that too is we know that Sun is pregnant, so she's also probably like, you're pregnant.
Exactly.
Like I will, like, we are not putting you in danger, and we sure as hell are not putting baby Turniphead in danger. But
Right,
like, on the helicopter.
you and the 2 babies get on the helicopter.
Right.
Kate
So
is doing like the right thing, but that is something that will eat at Kate.
Yes.
Like, she is in no way responsible for what's about to happen. But the fact that her last thing that she does is she gets Sun out of the way and be like, I'll go get Jin.
yeah,
And then she doesn't do that.
And like narratively, this is the only way that it, like, because Sun would not have left without Jin.
Yes.
So
Correct.
like she couldn't be the one to go run after him. And then Kate, like Jack doesn't let Kate
correct.
stay away any longer, even though if she just gone to the door and like yelled real loud, he might have run a little faster and like it might have been
Right.
okay. But
I mean,
Jack's like, nope.
Yeah, at this point, like, because we're going back down to where we see that the freezing has stopped officially. Like, there's no more of this Cyro, whatever it was called. And so that's where Michael's like, Jin, you gotta go. You gotta go. This is the time. You gotta go. And he's like, you're gonna be a dad now.
Yeah, that's
As much character assassination as has happened.
Michael has one last moment of greatness.
Because like we know, like, again, this is going back, and we've had our issues with Michael. But we know from the very beginning of this is he wanted to be a dad. He was so excited to be a dad. He wanted to be a dad, and then of course the mom took, well, fuck you, Susan, was dad, takes Walt away from him, and then of course, hi King, destroy the Legos. With that, we get him that he is the dad, and he's not like, what do I do with this? And then he has a lot of growth to become that great dad, and he will do anything to protect his son, including killing people, which was not great. Then, of course, they got off the island, and he tells his son that he did that. Like, Michael not making great choices, but at the end of the day, nothing meant more to him than to be a dad. And knowing Jin wants that too, it's just for him to be like, don't be the hero anymore. Go be with your wife and baby and get them home. And
Jin is his friend. Like going back to season 1 and 2, like that's his friend. And like,
yeah, no, it's.
And I want to ask Jake about it as well, because like Michael's an interesting character, and Michael was like your favorite character for a long time on the show, and it's such a disconnect with what obviously Michael ended up doing to get to this point where, like, do you really feel anything for his deaths? Because I do feel like it lacks the punch because the Michael we knew changed so much.
Yeah, I can't, like, I wasn't like, oh no, like Michael's gone. Like, it's kind of like, Jin, obviously, yes, because Jin's had that great character arc from maybe not making the right decisions because he was kind of forced into that spot in life. And now he's like changed and become a really great person. And so, like, yeah, that's going to hit hard rather than Michael, who his life completely went downhill because of his own choices. So I'm not really upset to lose Michael. I'm a little surprised that they cut his kind of, I mean, I guess there's not really much you can really do at this point to like redeem Michael or anything, obviously, but like I was a little surprised that it was kind of cut so short, if that makes sense.
I think, it goes to the point of, like, I agree with like what you're saying here, Jake, is like, it is hard for us to like feel that love for Michael because of what he's done. But of course, we also go back to he was doing anything to get his son out of there. And it is being a parent, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I think, I mean, this is going to get into a really, because this is, it's kind of like, parallel of the Libby Ana Lucia is all the emotion went to Libby, where all the emotions going to Jin, and then like Michael's like the Ana Lucia of it all, So,
and also on Michael, before we get to the Jin stuff as well, like I find it so like cutthroat how the island, because we also do need to mention, like, Kristin appears to Michael in the moments before his death and says, like, you can go now, Michael. But
you
it's
can
the
go
fact
now.
that, like, he has been trying to end his life for the past several weeks,
right?
And he's being kept alive for a purpose, and it's like, no, you can't die. And then it's just like, okay, now we're done with you. Like, we needed you for this little thing, and now you're discardable. And it's so brutal. Like it's just, okay, now we're done with you after everything.
Yeah.
I don't think I wasn't, and I'm not like sad for Michael, but it is a lot, right? Like, it's like the journey that he went on, and like everything he went through, and then to go out like that, like, because he is trying to help, he is trying to save people, and he is trying to do the right thing, and then to have a representative of the island be like, okay, now we're done.
And he just goes out confused. He's like, what? who the fuck are you?
Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, a lot of emotion goes into just this scene, and then of course we have like, bless you. We're gonna get so much emotion here, and then we have a full like continue on for a good like 30 more minutes after this. But we do have Kate running to go get Jin. We've got Jin running out of the room. He's trying to get up there. Jack, of course, runs to Kate and is like, no. And she's like, I promised I'd go get Jin. He's like, there's no time. You've got to come on. They get on the helicopter, and the helicopter starts to take off. Sun is like, what are you doing? Like, no, what are you doing? Jin's not here yet. And of course, in that moment, the timing just, this is what makes it even more heartbreaking is Jin runs out. They're barely off the ship, but like off, so we know that because they're going to get kind of a blowback from this explosion a little bit, that they weren't that far off. But like, she's like, just go back. He's right there. He's right there. Like, I'm like, can we throw a rope? Can we throw something down to Jin? Anything, please, dear God. Like, anything. But
he's right there. He's right there.
Right there. That's where this adds so much heartbreak. But what I will say that adds even more to it, obviously, is the fact that he gets blown up right in front of his wife, and her screams. Like, you know that these people that are on the helicopter will have nightmares of her screams for the rest of their life, of her being just, the blood-curdling screams of watching your husband, who is right there. You could almost touch him. And for him to get blown up in the way that he did right there in front of you is, it's a lot. It's
brutal.
Lot. It's brutal.
Honestly,
and
like,
devastating.
If I look at the entire show as a whole, and I think of standout singular acting moments within the show, like, this is one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in anything. It's like, do you know, Kevin's gonna hate this one. Like, the other one that springs to mind is when in Harry Potter in the Goblet of Fire, when Cedric Diggory's dad like realizes he's dead, and he's like screaming, "My boy!"
Yeah,
and it's like, it's like just from the soul, and it's like, oh my God, it just punches you. And like, yeah, like Yeonjun Kim, like the scream she lets out, like it's like animalistic, just blood curdling, like you said. It's so heartbreaking, of just pure agony. It's like just this release. It's like, it's an incredible performance.
It really is. I mean, but like also we know too, like they were so close. Like it's like we know that when they got on the Zodiac, he's like, I told you I'd get you off this island. Like, they had everything right there in their fingertips. And I hate this scene so much. This is why I hate Ben right now, even though it's a little justified. But we love Jin, and to have his story arc, like of all the things that he's done to become the Jin that he is now. Just it's a dagger to your heart, and this is probably one of the hardest that I've ever had to watch of a death. This is not me dancing on a girl's grave today. This is a very sad, somber Kristin.
Oh, look at you! Look at that growth.
But anyway, so we do get a flash forward where we see that Sun is in over there in Michael's neck of the woods. She's hanging out. She probably like just left a tea with Michael, and she's going to hang out with Whitmore as well.
I wish.
But with that, she's on the phone. You hear like her mom calling and Ji-young in the background, and like you're like, this, our heart can't take much more. You just killed her daddy, and now she's like, hi, my love. It's, oh my gosh, it's so sad. But of course, she goes up to Whitmore, and she like is sitting there. She's like, I'm Pike's daughter. He's like, oh yeah, great golf game. And she's like, are we really doing this? Are we really gonna do this right now? And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, listen, when you're done bullshitting around, you're gonna call me, because we have a common enemy. I blame somebody for there's two. And we're like, what are the two? Who are the two? What are we talking about? Who do we blame, son? Who are we blaming? But she's like, call me when you're ready to talk and knock it off with your bullshit. And I love that Widmore is like stunned. Like, not many people talk to Widmore this way, right? You can tell. And he's like looking at her card, like his little bodyguards back there, like, I don't even know what to do with this. And like, we're standing there like, she just called me out on my shit. Nobody does this. Like, what do I do? And so go son, badass son.
Yes.
What do you think of that, Jake? Like the fact that Son's going to Widmore.
Yeah, I wonder again if like she's finding some ways to like blame him for Jin's death, obviously, or like finding some ways to make a deal with him. I'm not quite sure yet. Again, I think it's something where we need more information, but love to see.
Well, to get us out of the emotion of it all, we do have them. Jack is like, sorry about your husband, but fly us back to the island. And I will say the emotion here in this helicopter too, like of what they've all just witnessed. Like, I mean, granted, it's hitting Sun more because that is her husband, but they all love Jin. Like, even the moment of like, it's not like really looked upon is Kate. She's like not even like sitting up, like looking at, like, you can tell she's like, if she was not holding the baby, she'd be plugging her ears because of how bad those screams and stuff are. And you see her just like holding Aaron, crying, being like, oh my gosh, I could have gone and gotten Jin. Like, you can't imagine what's going through her head right now. But like, we all know that they're all just like, what just happened? What just happened? And like, you hear Sun too, like, go lower. Like, maybe we can find. And then like Jack's like, there's nothing there. Okay, Jack, I need bedside manner Jack to come out and be like a little bit. But like, there's so much chaos here. I do understand why Jack is like, there's nothing down there. Like, we have so much is happening. We have limited fuel. We got to get back to the island. I understand that moment. But like, she is just overcome and she's like, fly lower. Like, he's got to be right there. Like, and he's basically like, no, he blew up right before our eyes. Did you not see that? But he does tell Frank to fly them back to the island. We do get back down into the Orchid where Locke and Ben are having the time of their lives. Locke's still questioning. He's mad. You just killed all those people. He's like, I don't care. You might want to duck because I got my experiment about to happen. And Locke's just like, I was still on the freighter and you just killed this guy. And now you see him too. He like immediately like ducks so quickly. Like, you know what I mean? But they do have this explosion among this thing because obviously you're not supposed to put metal in this little room. So it does explode. Then while we're about to deal with that, another most heartbreaking scene. They tried. They gave me a shirtless Sawyer, but like I can only live on that moment for a very short time because he comes out of the water. We already know that he has zero idea of what's happened here. And
right.
Like, what a great day for a swim. We're about to get on a freighter. We're going to have a grand old time. How you doing, sweet cheeks? And then he's like, oh, we got the liquor out. What are we celebrating? And she's like, I'm not celebrating. And she like kind of notions out and he turns around and says, is that our boat? And she goes, it was.
It was.
But also you see Sawyer immediately go like, I just jumped off the helicopter to get all of them out there, and now they're blown up. Like, oh God!
But can we just point out the tragedy of this, where Juliet was feet away from walking onto a submarine,
correct?
Only to see it blow up right in front of her eyes, and now she's spent all day getting everyone over to that freighter. She looks out at the horizon, and then, oh shit, is that black smoke? That ain't good.
It's not our smoke monster.
Is John Locke out there? Did he blow this thing up?
No, I think too, like the emotion that we're all overcome with, especially with Juliet, is like, gosh, all she's wanted is like in several times.
All she's wanted is to get off this island,
right?
and
so, but
get back to her sister.
That I think, like, yes, is she sad about that? Like, there went my other route to get out of here, but also I think more of the emotion is on Juliet of being like, I just sent a bunch of people out there to go get killed. Like, that's like, of course she's like, well, there went my other route off the island, but it's more so of like, I just put all those people on the freighter of doom. Like, I'm
the freighter of doom.
I'm calling it that from now on. But yeah, I mean, that's the guilt that a lot of these people are going to have to live with after this. Yeah. And they didn't even do it. It's not even any of their faults. You know what I mean? The only person that should be like feeling bad is Ben, and he's over there not a care in the fucking world. So yeah, it's a lot of guilt for these people. It's a lot of survivor's guilt that they're going to be dealing with, and then of course the ones on the helicopter are going to have to listen to poor son's screams for the rest of their life. With that, we get back to Ben and Locke. He's like getting his little get up on. He's got a parka happening on. Oh, go ahead, Michael. Did I skip something?
But he puts the little parka on. Did that ring any bells, Jake, or no?
Yeah, where he woke up in that flash forward, right in the desert, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
kind of weird. How did that happen?
Right.
Yeah. Well, if the island got moved, correct. So obviously, that's what must have happened. Is he woke up where the island ended up moving to?
He just like blooped off the island somewhere.
Right. But yeah, so he does get all dressed up, and Locke's like, "Where's mine?" He's like, "You're not coming," and he's like, "Yes, I am," and he's like, "No, you're not." So again, he very much parented Locke this entire episode, and I love it. But he's like, "No, you're not," because here's why. He's like, and then you love Locke. He's like, "Jacob told me to do it. It's mine." And he's like, "But did he tell you how to do it?" "No, he didn't, because he knows I know how to do it, which means he wants me to suffer all the consequences." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Anybody that does this cannot come back to the island. So now he's done with me. You're the new leader. Find my people 2 miles east. Like, bye." Like, again, there is some sad moments for Ben. It's hard because you just killed Jin, but there is some where you feel like he's given so much to this island, and then they're just like, turn a wheel and you're done. Bye.
I really feel for Ben. Like, and again, maybe because I don't blame him. Like, I get it. Like, it is directly his fault, but I can understand his actions to a point where I can't blame him. But we do see, and we've seen a few moments of it, of this change in Ben, and he has a genuine moment of, like, he has nothing to gain from it. He's on his way out the door where he's really nice to Locke, and he's like, I'm sorry I made your life so miserable. He like shakes his hand, and he's like, "You'll find your way, John, like you always do." He's giving him good advice, and it's like a guy that's like, everything has mattered so much to him for so many years of just like power and control of the island and all this stuff, and now that's just done, and like he's gonna be gone, and he's accepted that, and now he's starting to have a bit more humanity, ironically, in the moments after he's just blown up a bunch of people. But like, I don't know, it still hits me. I can't explain it.
No, I agree. Like I said, I mean, you do feel for him in this moment, because basically everything he said, Jacob's done with me, the island's, even when he's like we're about to get to it where he turns the wheel, he's like, "Hope you're happy, Jacob." Like, that he's feeling all these things. So you do feel for him. I feel a little less because you just killed Jin. So.
Yeah, I don't really feel anything for Ben in this case, but I find him fascinating nonetheless. So
yeah. Well, Locke does meet up with the others. They all stay. I love Richard and his eyeliner that's not eyeliner, it's just eyelashes, stands up. And they're like, there's a little bit of a shock, like you can see from them, but they're also like, okay, well, it was either going to be Ben or Locke, and most likely it was going to be Locke. But like, you know what I mean? They're kind of like, this is our leader. Good God. Like, Richard was like ready. He was like shining his like, I'm the leader badge that he was about to put on. Shit. Shit. I guess it's Locke now. I thought it was going to be me. Finally, my time in the sun. But Ben does go through the hole that he has created by this explosion. He goes down into this frozen tundra of a room. Why is it frozen? I don't know. Like, these are things like, why? Jake, any thoughts on why like literally just through a hole is a frozen tundra?
I have no. Well, didn't we have like scenes in the tundra in season 2 with the electromagnetic? What gave Desmond the ability to like see flashes? I don't know. Like, somehow there's some sort of connection in my mind with that, but it's just very, very odd. And then obviously, as he starts turning the wheel, we're seeing this heavenly light that envelops the island and makes it.
Did you recognize the light?
I'm trying to like think back because
it was Desmond turning on the bathroom light. I'm just kidding.
No,
it was funny.
So many.
It was funny. It was funny.
No, I have no idea. Honestly, I'm not. It's not ringing a bell for me, unless like I guess the only thing is like the I can think of a season 1 with the hatch with Desmond's lights in the hatch, like appearing like it's like a heavenly light, but like obviously that wasn't. So I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't run to the bathroom.
It was the same noise that was made when
The hatch.
Desmond turned the key and the hatch exploded, when the sky turned purple. Like this like whirring sound of like something powering up. It was like, oh, and the sky turned a weird color. It was the exact same like thing that happened at the end of season 2.
Yes. So he does spin the wheel. We get the humming and the crazy lights. I do love that this is actually the last time that we see Daniel Michael, because they did leave him on the literally, you see him on the Zodiac and they're like, what's going on? We got the helicopter people being like, what's going on? People on the beach are wondering what's happening. But of course we know that the helicopter is headed because they didn't get much fuel. They just need to get back to the island. Because even if that fuel lasts them past the island, there's nothing else around. So like it's not like they can fly the helicopter to another island. But with that, they are searching or heading straight for the island.
I love that it just goes bloop.
Right. This bright light appears, and as the light calms down, all you see is this like bloop, it's gone. Bloop.
Just a little bloop.
Yeah.
And there's just like a little ripple in the water, like a drop of water. Like
right.
I love Jack's desperation where he's like, there was a smaller island that they took us to where we were in cages. It's like, there's no island, Jack.
There's
the entire
nothing
thing
here.
went.
I know, but he's like, take me back to the cages. It'll be fine. But yeah,
Let's
I mean,
go back.
they're like, there's nothing here. Like, what are we going to do? And then he's like, well, we're going to prepare for a crash because we're out of fuel. And of course, the helicopter does crash. Listen, I know that we're going to talk about the miracle of it, but that baby, Turnip Head's not surviving that.
None of them are.
Not surviving.
No one. Yeah.
So listen. The thing that he should have done was when it was starting to run low on fuel, bring it closer to the water so it was less of a crash.
Right.
Like obvious, but like it tumbled in the water. They all died, and there's no magic island nearby anymore to magically cure them. So I don't know how any of them are alive. Hurley has a scratch on his face. That's
right.
That's
and his arm.
He's got like a John Locke scar now. He's got the face there. What I also love, that we're going to get into the rescue very soon, but I love how much it makes sense of the island is now gone, which means this weird like bubble that they've been in where there's only one direct path, that's also gone. So now they are able to be found because there's nothing stopping the rest of the world from finding this location anymore. So I like that. It's just like, it's a cool way of doing that, where it's like, okay, they're free from the bubble.
The bubble. But yeah, so of course Jack comes to, he gets to the surface. This is also the blooper continuity error that drives me nuts. Is Saeed was like, give me the life raft before, and he throws it out, and they go quite a bit of ways, but Jack comes up from the water and Hurley's already in the boat. It's like,
he landed in it.
I feel like this may just be me being like making something of nothing. Not that has ever happened before in this entire podcast.
No.
I would never do such a thing. I think there is a kind of like, you watch Grey's Anatomy, Kristin, kind of like Meredith had the moment in the water with the ferry where she like stopped for a bit. Like it seems like there's a moment where Jack's like, oh my god, like, I'm done with all this. Like, no, okay, I'm gonna fight.
Yes, I'll fight.
Like, okay.
But still, there's no way that they all swam that quickly to that raft that was 4 miles back that way.
Right. So I think there is a moment of like Jack didn't come up right away.
He did not. Yes, you're correct. But of course, they all get to the raft. They find Desmond. Frank finds him. He obviously. I was like, all of them are fine, but Desmond's the one that's like dying here. But like, we do see that later he was hit in the head, so he of course went unconscious, so that's why he was drowning.
No, but also, of course, it's Desmond because he's the one that we don't know his fate. So like, I was like, oh shit, this is how we lose Desmond. We know he's not on the Oceanic 6.
Right.
Yeah, like, I was like, oh god, like, he has to die. Like I totally bought it.
I was definitely waiting for how they were going to kill Lapidus and Desmond. I was like, they can't survive, and then luckily that they do. But
when it crashes, like you 100% think, okay, well now Frank and Desmond are dead because they're not Oceanic 6. So like but then Frank's rescuing Desmond, so you're like, okay, well, Desmond's dead, but like, how does Frank end up dying? Because he's not in the Oceanic 6.
But then also, neither of them are Oceanic passengers, so they couldn't be Oceanic 6.
Right,
So
that's true. That's true.
Right, if you actually think about it. But in that moment, you're like, oh, shit.
Right.
I also, like, continuity-wise, you can't do CPR on a soft surface like the bottom of that raft. You need a...
We love Lost so much, and we'll call it out for its shit where it happens, but they did their best.
Right. He needed something. He needed a board underneath him or something to give him some amount of leverage. Just pointing that out, because he would just push his body down into the water.
Correct. But we do know that he CPRs him 15 times, and Desmond comes too. Yay, Jack!
We got some Jack and Desmond mouth to mouth
action.
Kevin, don't do that.
Oh my god! Now this might have to be a short of like. The weirdest thing I think I've ever seen Kevin do.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't your finest moment.
Well, in all reality, Jack kind of kissed Penny too, because immediately here in a second.
Oh my god, Jack and Penny are like Eskimo sisters,
sister wives. Oh my god. Anyway, let's get this shit back on track. All right, so Kate, we get our flash forward with Kate. Of course, she hears something, so she turns on a light, and she turns on the light, and the phone immediately rings. That would creep me out. Like, that would 100% put me in a panic. But she answers the phone. She gets this weird cryptic message, which, of course, we said at the beginning that it was the reverse of, like, the island needs you, go back. And then she hears another, like, sound, so she hangs up the phone, grabs out her gun, and goes to, like, listen, most women, I'll give this to Kate, most women are being like, 911, there's something in my house. And Kate's like, let me get my gun. You're all
Kate's like, listen, I have survived polar bear attacks, smoke monsters, like others who whisper around me. Like, I am not afraid of somebody in my house.
Right. She's like, let me just arm up. Ready or not, here I come, bitches. Like, she's ready to go.
I was chased internationally by a psychopath of an FBI agent. Like, I got this.
I got this. But she does go out into the hallway and she sees that Aaron's room is open. So she goes to the room and there's somebody sitting over his bed. Listen, I kid you guys not. This is one of my biggest fears. Like, that would traumatize me. I used to, even as a kid, I'd be afraid that I'd wake up and somebody'd be staring at me over my bed. Like, it's just an irrational fear that I've had my entire life. So I would immediately panic and she's like, get your hands off my son. And she's turned around, the girl turns around and it's Claire. And just the irony of that, of like, get your hands off my son. And Claire's like, bitch, please. That's my kid. But we have Claire saying, you do not take him back to that island. Like, and we know that Kate's like, I wasn't planning on it.
Kate's like, yeah, I'm not taking myself there either. Like,
right, like, we're on the same page. You don't have to yell at me at 3 a.m. or whatever time this is. But yeah, so she don't bring him back, obviously. And Claire, it's nice to see you. Where you been? You done with daddy? Like, what's happening here? Why are we appearing? But also, this goes back to the Hurley of it all, right? Like, so is Claire now dead and now she's appearing to Kate as a ghost, or is she off the island now? Because now everybody apparently can leave the island and nobody could ever leave the island before, but now Claire's here.
Well, Ben's not in charge anymore, so maybe everybody can leave.
They're all just like free for all out. But yeah, it brings a lot of questions of like, is this a figment of, like, obviously it's a dream for Kate because she immediately wakes up, but like, these things are not so far-fetched, right? Like, because we know that Hurley's been like playing chess with Echo and hanging out with Charlie, and Ben's leaving the island and all this, like, obviously Locke got off the island and now he's dead, so there's just a lot of questions of being like, is this a premonition of Claire coming back for Aaron? Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of questions on to what, where, why, who, what, all those things of why Claire's back. So I know that was me watching it for the first time. Jake, I don't know if you have thoughts on Claire.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is like crazy because like obviously Kate's trying to protect her kid, but now it's like because it's from the actual mom of the kid now, and like that, I mean, that's freaky. I don't know, like it's almost like Claire now has the same properties as Kristin did on the island now, so it's just. I never would have expected this to be Claire's arc at the beginning of the show. So it's just a bit wild to me that this is the direction they took her character arc in.
It is really weird. Like, I think if you expect any character to have this arc. Claire's not the one. Like, she was
No.
the sweet pregnant girl, and then
Right.
and now there's this whole weird thing with her, and she's gone all kind of crazy and dark, and she doesn't care about Turniphead anymore. Which
She's like, bye.
yeah, it. I don't think I'd thought about that before, Jake, but yeah, I agree. I wouldn't have predicted that to be Claire's arc.
Yeah, not at all. But we do have, obviously, Kate woke up from the stream and goes into Aaron, and she's very overcome with emotion. Like, because again, like, she has been playing off that Aaron is hers, knowing that Claire, her friend, is basically the mom, and they've written her off. But she has this moment with Aaron. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And like, I just can't imagine, like, again, everything kind of catching up with them. Jeremy Bentham, aka Locke, came back, and like, you know what I mean? So like, I feel like a lot of things have happened in the last couple days for her to kind of break down with Aaron at this point. With that, getting back to the island that is no longer the island, it's just the ocean. There's no island. We can't even say back to the island anymore. But they are in the raft here, and he's talking to Kate about Aaron, and she's like, how is he? And he's like, he's fine. It's a miracle. And Jack, here he goes again. There's no miracles. It's all fine. And he's like, Jack, bro, there's no island. It disappeared in front of your freaking face. What are you talking about?
Literally in front of his very eyes.
Right.
They say seeing is believing, but apparently in the case of Jack Shepherd, even seeing isn't willing, like, enough for him to be like, maybe there's something in this.
I can't wait to hear how you're about to.
No, it's not.
You go.
It is not like a full-on defense, but like you're talking about, like, just after seeing this, like, he's very much a evidence-based person. Like, just because, like I said before, just because he can't explain it yet doesn't mean there isn't an explanation. So I'm sure he's just thinking, like, anytime somebody says it's a miracle, there are no miracles, right? Like, that is a go-to thing. And like, Jack, we just saw an island disappear. Like, we'll figure out the explanation for that later. There's no such thing as a miracle, right? Like, it's not like we're not talking about some like major, like, this is a very minor thing to be like nitpicking Jack about. Like, this is like nitpicking me for having tiny hands. Like, hi, it's just I just do.
Literally not. It's literally not. They're a full-on big-ass island, dipped down into the ocean in front of him. And he's sitting there saying, "Yeah, it didn't happen." That's your evidence.
He's not saying that didn't happen. He's saying.
He literally said he didn't move the island.
It's like, Locke moved the island. Like, he didn't move the island. It's like, so what happened, Jack?
Right. He literally said it.
Okay. No. I thought you were picking on the miracles comment.
No, I'm talking about him saying, like, they just moved the island, and he's like, they didn't move the island, and he's like, you dumbass, it literally moved. We watched it dip into the ocean.
Okay, yeah, that comment is a little like...
I totally love Jack. Like, I've never been someone that bashes on Jack, but just, like, I love Jack. He's one of my favorite characters. But here, he is insufferable. Like, you can't even in this moment be like, huh.
I thought you were picking on the...
Early is like, come on, Jack. We just saw it.
I thought you were picking on the miracles comment. I'm like, that's really like not that big a deal. I don't know why you're picking on that.
No, it's in addition to that, because that's what leads into the island didn't disappear, and you're like, Jack, you're an idiot. How are you a doctor?
I was trying to think of like what's your like and statement to go with this, right? Like, okay, if he didn't move the island, then what? Like, what's your follow up? And there was none, and I was like, Jack, you're going to make this hard for me in about 2 hours. And
it is. It's extremely difficult.
Because I was also wondering too, like, because don't they say John moved the island? I was like, oh, does he have some kind of, like, was there part of the conversation? So, like, no, he didn't, because John did move it, like, Ben did. Like, I was waiting for some kind of, like, follow-up. Like, something, like, why are you so confidently saying this thing, Jack?
But I think at the end of the day, no matter who moved it, but like the whole point of this conversation was like, Hurley's like, I can't believe they moved the island. And he's like, well, they didn't move it. It's an island. You can't move an island. And he's like, bro, they literally moved the island. We're in the middle of the ocean right now. They moved the island.
No, like I said, I was waiting for the like, okay, so like, if not, then what? what is your theory? What's
has
your
none.
follow-up? And there just wasn't ever one. And I was like,
No.
I will listen to a, even though I just watched it happen too, so like I obviously know, but like I would listen to a like, no, they didn't, like this must have happened. There was no this must have happened. It was just no, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Thanks, Jack,
Thanks.
for that. With that, thank you for sticking with us for 2 hours, but this was a long podcast, but we are getting to the end here. Of course, they are sitting in the middle of the ocean. They do now see a boat. The boat is coming to rescue them, and Jack immediately says, we have to lie. At least he listened to Locke for once. He does listen to Locke because Locke told him to lie. They're all like, huh? What? We were just going to tell him that our plane wasn't at the bottom and all the things. He's like, no, listen, we've got to lie. We got to come up. And they're like, how are we going to lie after what just happened today? Like, how are we can't, Kate's like, we can't pull this off. Like, this is not going to happen. And he's like, just let me do the talking. Well, of course, they pull up to this boat. We got people speaking and they say Miss Widmore. And you're like, what? What? And of course, Penny comes over it. Oh, happy day. Desmond is he immediately jumps off the
Right, like he's climbing up just a random rope hanging off the side of the boat.
Around to the side. Like, he's like, I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. I've waited long enough to get with my woman, and I'm getting to my woman. The whole of like her running to him climbing over the, oh my gosh. This is what we've been waiting for. What?
Can we just say for a second, like 3 or 4 minutes ago, Desmond's heart wasn't beating. Can you imagine if like this show went with the route of Desmond dies in the helicopter crash and then Penny rescues them and Desmond's just dead in the boat? It's like he was dead. Thank God he came back.
Also, though, like, listen, with how Lost does and like the turmoil they put on our heart, like, I am so happy we got the Penny and Desmond reunion, but man, would that be like, can you imagine her being like, oh my God, I was almost there? You know what I mean? Because we have the timing of the Jin thing. Like, if he had run a little bit faster, you know what I mean? Like, the timing of it all, like, that would have just, especially in this heartbreaking episode, it would just have really been a horrible dagger. But I am glad that we did get the Penny and Desmond reunion. But I've also thought about that, Michael, of him being like, yeah, Penny, great. Desmond's in the
like they try to weaken at Bernie's him for like,
oh my God. Yeah, I loved this again. Like from season 3's finale to now is just it's a beautiful part of storytelling. I'm so glad like this is how it ended up so far. Obviously, I'm assuming we'll get follow-up of like Ben trying to find Penny or like something like that based on how what was being set up.
Promise Widmore.
yeah oh, that was Widmore. Okay, yeah.
He promised Widmore.
He said, I'm gonna kill your daughter.
Yeah. So like so I think like that's a whole thing that we're gonna see involving Penny and Desmond, but like for now this was a very nice conclusion to leave off on like Desmond's character arc and everything.
Well, of course they do show 1 week later. They've had a week to now plan. They've come up with this lie that they're going to do. They're going to, I love that Hurley's like, what's that place called again? And Saeed's like, Membata. Like that's where we've been at this entire time. You can't you can't mispronounce this, Hurley. But they're like getting this whole thing, like you're gonna row in on the ship, you're gonna get a convincing sunburn, you're gonna tell them that you guys survived this way. So they have a whole plan. And I do the emotion, like, because we already knew this, right? Because like from the press release, they showed the picture of them getting to the island. But like, gosh, again, like the emotion of this is like they're now free. Like they are stepping on. They're now about to tell people they're going home.
They're back on land that isn't the island.
I know. Like when they all get out and then like again, they're a week, poor Sun, she's a week out from just losing her man. Like all the things that just happened to them, they're like overcome with this emotion of like, we can finally go home. We can tell people who we are. It's very emotional to see that picture come to life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I love that they did that with Losses, that they showed that picture at the press release a couple episodes ago. And now to see it play out, oh, the emotion. They're free. But that ends us up with our final flashback in the end of this episode with our cliffhanger of Jack driving drunk / high, all the things that he's doing right now That's always great. Thank you, doctor, for being on the streets that way, driving a million miles per hour, listening to your Kurt Cobain, which I approve of. But he goes into doesn't go in. He breaks in. He just rack up the charges here, Jack. But breaks into the funeral parlor. And of course, there's the coffin for Jeremy Bentham. And he is sitting there. He opens it up. I will never forget watching this live, Jake. And I don't know if you felt this way before it happened, but I was like, I swear to God, if they open this lid and we still don't know, I remember watching this live being like, I'm going to lose it.
I thought they were going to do that. Honestly, the last
then show the back of it. That they like, you know what I mean? And then like at the end when we're going to get to it, he's going to need to come to, and they're kind of like zooming out. I'm like, I swear to God, if you guys don't show who's in this coffin. But yeah, of course he's looking there. He's upset. He gets disturbed very like creepily by, hey, Jack, I'm in a funeral parlor that I just broke into in the middle of the night, staring at a dead body, and creepy voice comes over of, hey, Jack. I feel like, what is happening? But it is, of course, Ben. So when I'm watching this live, I'm like, okay, so it's not Ben in the coffin, because I was convinced it was Ben in the coffin. So it's not Ben. And we get this whole conversation between Ben and Jack, and he's like, didn't work out so well for you. I kind of tried to tell you, Locke tried to tell you, like all these people tried to tell you, and now look at you. You are a hot mess. And he's like, you need to go back. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get the plane ticket. He also calls him out for like, you've been getting on planes hoping to crash. It's so dark, dude. And it's so true. It is 100% true. But with that, like in this conversation that we hear from Ben, as he tells him, that's not how this works. So once you leave the island, you can't go back on the island unless all of you go back. Every single one of you. And we find out from Jack that he has not a relationship with any of them, which is even more sad. Like they were so bonded, and for like, obviously we have to get more information. We've seen a little bit, and obviously Jack went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and on the pills and on the alcohol. But he, I don't talk. Hurley's insane. Well, possibly, but like Jack, you aren't looking so sane yourself right now. But Saeed, don't even know where Saeed is. Like Kate won't talk to Jen or not.
Before we get into the Locke thing, because I feel like that's going to turn into 4 seasons worth of build up on this podcast, where it's the final argument potentially. But I want to just talk about the Jack and Ben of it all, where it's like these two have been, the leaders of their groups for the last, 4 seasons, constantly button heads, never on the same page. And now I remember being really excited about the prospect of this now broken Jack that is wanting to go back, and now we're going to get like a Jack and Ben team up, like to gather the Avengers to go back to the island. Like I never thought that would be like something that we'd get. So like Jack and Ben together, like with a mutually beneficial alliance where they need to work together, is like so exciting.
I will point out this, though, because I love that Jack goes through this whole, like, they all don't talk to me. I don't know how we're going to get it done. And Ben's like, well, maybe I can help with that. Can you, Ben? Because nobody likes you either. What do you mean?
But he's such a manipulator. Like,
right. No, I know. But it makes me laugh. And he's like, oh, I'll help you. And it's like, none of them like you either.
Well, because like Jack would like repeatedly just try to call until they answer, and then just like continue to tell them the same thing until they change their mind, right? Whereas like Ben is gonna like torture their mom until they get on a plane, right? Like Ben is gonna do something evil to them, and Jack's just gonna be like, please listen.
Please go back with me. Well, like we were talking about, here's the moment, the cliffhanger, what we've all been waiting for. We are about to find out who's in the coffin. But I know that, again, I was sitting there like, I swear if they do this whole moment, because Ben says he has to come too, and then they go to like the back of the coffin, and then they're like, I'm like waiting for the black screen to go out, and I was going to lose my mind. But thankfully, Lost gave us something. They go across and up over the coffin. We look down. And poor Michael, this is the moment where he will probably start crying. Locke is dead. So Locke is dead. He is in the coffin. Poor Michael. Let him go get his funeral attire on. And if he put a funeral
that would have been so good if I did like a quick change.
Right, my God. No, but like, I mean, gosh, you gave a funeral, like full funeral attire to Shannon, and your bestie, your main man Locke, and no funeral attire.
This is the future.
Yeah, honestly, we need to start the episode where we officially get John Locke's cause of death, and we need to be like, well, we are here for the death of John Locke, and we need Kevin to go, yay, and wave the tiny hands around.
I will jokingly in this moment, because it's John Locke in a coffin, be like, hooray! But like, I mean, he is still a character. He is still a person. So
Yes.
like, I don't know what happened to him. So like, I'm not gonna like really celebrate, but like, I will like, tee hee hee hee. The character I don't like died. Tee hee hee.
Here though is like we know, like they said in the like he's like they said that it was suicide. You know what I mean? And so like one, okay, if that's true, gosh, like what got Locke that desperate? You know what I mean? Because we left Locke and he's like, I'm the leader of the others. I'm happy day me. I'm destiny on the island. We have all these things. Yeah. But if that's where we were left,
but he was really unhappy before he got to the island. So,
but like for them to give us they said it was suicide, like that is like, oh my gosh, if that's true, that's devastating. What happened? Like you feel a little bit for Locke in this moment. So yeah,
I do think that's like very deliberate in that we left Locke at his highest. He's now the leader of the others, and the two things that we know are he's going to leave the island. He's going to visit, several people, and he's going to die. So, like, how do we get from this height of Locke is the leader of the others to Locke in a coffin?
Yeah.
And I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, Kevin is, so just keep it here. And I would just like to point out and say one final thing. It's only Locke. You had that comment. You had that.
Oh my gosh. I never thought you would be so kind to me, Kristin.
May I just say, what in 4 seasons of this show have I ever done to deserve that?
Oh, I don't know. Saying followed by somebody that died. It's all.
I'm gonna need you as a short. I'm gonna need you to play that and then play all the heinous things he has said.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
Can we get a compilation of my heinous behavior? That would be so much fun.
that would
Honestly,
be
Kristin, that was very well done and totally fair enough. Yeah,
yeah.
I deserved it.
And then we can show all like the hate comments from the
All the times he picked Turnip Head as his least
I've had
favorite
one
character.
hate comment.
All right. Well, if you guys stuck with us, thank you. It was a very long podcast, but this was a 2-hour finale.
2-hour finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do it in breaks.
yes.
I guess it doesn't make sense me telling you this now because it's the end.
right.
Take
We
a
hope
wee
you did it
break
in breaks.
the middle.
Yeah, we have an intermission, so it's fine.
Intermission.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we have
so
a tea intermission.
we do finally get to do a least favorite, which spoiler Sawyer. But rankings, I'm assuming we're going to be pretty all agreeant. We'll see though.
Yeah.
So let's break it down.
So favorite and least favorite. I'm gonna go Sun. I just think heartbreaking that she had to deal with Jin's death, and again then her being a badass with Charles Widmore. And then least favorite, because he didn't care what happened. I'm gonna go Ben. But he's also fascinating. Like, so yeah, I just not a good look, Ben.
Poor Michael. He has to suffer the death of Locke, and now this.
So I want to preface this. There is discourse out there that I'm just contrarian by nature. I do not think that's what I am, but I'm just basing this on which character entertains me the most, which character do I enjoy the most when they're on screen. And this episode, my favorite character of the episode is Ben. I'm sorry, but he's such a fascinating character. Like, the arc that he's been on since losing Alex, and just I thought you were muting because I was talking. I was expecting the camera to go, but like, I don't know, the fact that he's so heartless about what he's done, but I do totally understand his reasons for doing it. Like, I just get it. And then also for him to be so like kind and considerate and like remorseful to Locke immediately after, he's just incredible. I just love Ben. I'm sorry, he's my favorite character. Least favorite character of the episode, Kimmy. Like, Ben might have stabbed him in the neck, but the C4 on the boat, that was Kimi. The dead man's trigger, that was Kimi. Kimi is the one that's responsible for all of this. Yes, you can blame Ben, but it's Kimi who is responsible.
I don't know that I can pick one favorite. I would in general say the women are my, like, I think I have the most attachment to that. Like, Kate, like I said, Kate on the helicopter when she like breathes for the, like, and she is a like integral part of their plan to like get the mercenaries. Sun on the helicopter screaming bloody murder. Juliet on the beach drinking, like heartbroken again. Even Penny, like the Penny and Desmond scene is like the closest that my cold dead heart will ever come to happy tears. So
I'll
like,
never leave you. Oh, yeah.
right, like, so I don't know that I can pick just one of them. I think that in general, I would just say like the main women of the show are.
Well, you forgot Rose when she yelled about the penis.
Rose is.
Yeah.
I always love Rose. So yeah, I don't know that I could just pick one. I think if I had to pick one, I might pick Kate because she does the most in the episode, but not like. I don't like her more than the others. Like, there's just more that I could say that she did. Least favorite, I mean, I don't know why I'm on Michael's page so much this episode, but like, Kimi fucking sucks. He's an asshole. He's a jerk. He he almost dies in spite of like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Oh, you think you're gonna get me with your final words? Nuh-uh, I'm gonna kill people with mine. Like, fuck you, dude. Just like, stop talking and take your shirt off. Don't say anything.
You also forgot Charlotte. She finally gave Daniel a little kiss on the cheek. She should be in there too.
She has an intriguing thing too of like, oh, you're trying to get back to the island?
Right.
When were you here before?
Daniel has the crush, remember? So she gave him a little something to think about.
Also, shout out to Miles, who was hilarious in every second that he was on screen.
Yes,
He's pulling a Sawyer. He's pulling a Sawyer. All right. Well, obviously, I said it from the very beginning of 2 hours ago that spoiler, it's Sawyer. But like, we all know why. Like, this isn't just a Kristin.
No, it's a very deserved pick.
This is a very valid Sawyer pick.
Yes, yes.
Just him being amazing, like worrying about Hurley, but still trying to be the cool guy of like, yeah, no big deal. I saved you. You know what I mean? Like, but jumping out of that helicopter, obviously when he gets back to the island, like all that emotion that he has, knowing like, oh my gosh, I jumped so that they could go to the freighter of doom. So I just, Sawyer as a whole, like, oh, I love him. Love him so much. Anyway, my least favorite, you guys got Kimi covered, and so I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be Jack. Jack, you're a complete and utter idiot. It's literally saying the island didn't get moved when you watched it get moved. You're talking about like you deal with medicine and things that you can't explain all the time by people. Like, there are miracles out there. Don't be, my kid's a living proof of a miracle, and so for that, Jack gets nothing. Fuck you, Jack.
Damn.
You have Ben and Kimi there, and you're gonna harp on
He
a
took
man
care
of
of Ben, and you
science.
guys took care of Kimi. So I'm gonna throw out Jack because he's an idiot. Okay.
Okay. Well,
What a terrible, dumb follow-up comment.
I
think
liked
it's
it.
a very awesome one. I'm just one-upping all of you today.
oh my god. All right.
Kristen's the contrarian here, just to be clear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So we're gonna put this finale of
This is number one.
yeah. It's 100% number one.
To make it a wrestling reference, I will say I acknowledge my tribal chief, and I will say number one.
I mean,
Some people will understand that.
I don't, but I hope that it brings you joy.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
It does.
Shape of Things to Come is an amazing episode, and it did deserve to sit there at number one for
Yes.
all the time. But it's time to go. There's No Place Like Home it's up there.
yeah.
Now when we get to the overall rankings, we might have some.
Well, we only have a couple of spots it can go in because of
Right.
where it is. I think it's only 1, 2, or 3, right?
Yeah.
No,
correct.
Or no,
Nope.
two. But
Oh,
Yeah, 1, 2, or 3, because it could be 3.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it can be 3. Okay, yeah.
So obviously we see that our finales are at the top of the list here.
Yes,
Correct.
For me, okay, so like just to recap for anybody that doesn't know, obviously Exodus was season 2, where they were like waiting for the others and all those things.
No.
It's the season 1 finale.
Exodus is 1?
Exodus is season 1.
Exodus is 1, yes.
Through the Looking Glass is season 3.
Right. Okay, I was gonna say that, so I at least had that right. My bad. All. But obviously, Through the Looking Glass, that was where they were getting like the Charlie and Not Penny's boat, and like they got the the thing to stop producing things so they could contact this freighter. I think because this is the accumulation of all of that, I would put it number 1, but I'm happy to not to like hear your guys' thoughts. But I think that this is the lead. They were the part 1 of the finales, if you will. So
Before Jake goes, I will also say I'm willing to hand this over because I am perfectly happy with this being 1 or 2. So I'm going to join Kristin on the out of my hand. I really don't mind. I think it's a very fit number 1 and a very fit number 2.
Right.
Yeah, I'm for number 1 just because like I think like Kristin said, it is like the culmination of everything that we've seen so far, especially from season 3. And like I just think the finales keep getting better for the most part. I mean, yes, the season 2 finale is a little bit below with Live Together, Die Alone, but like overall, it's just kept getting better with these finales. So, Kevin.
Oh yeah, I was also going to say like I think it is a more intense, like a lot of the same things in Exodus, but more intense. So definitely 1 or 2. I would personally have said 1 because I think that I think that the most memorable thing of Through the Looking Glass is Not Penny's boat, which is a sad moment. And I think that some of the memorable parts of this are also happy moments. So
are they?
like them getting off of them getting in the helicopter, like they have that moment, like them landing on the beach, right? The Desmond and Penny reunion, like there are like very memorable moments in that I think for me, just because they're positive, put it that little bit above, but they're Not Penny's boat is like one of the most memorable things in the entire history of the show. So like
entire show,
and we have to go back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm well, and like I mean, Jake, I think you can start typing it in there, but like I do think that especially because of all of our finales have like that part 1 that leads into it. I think it's so crazy that Through the Looking Glass was them literally the freighter, right? Of like getting there, and now this ended with the freighter. This was literally like Through the Looking Glass was part 1, and There's No Place Like Home is part 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, wrapped up 4.
So wait, what did we kick off then? What's off the list?
I want to look.
One of Us.
That one was
that is.
That's not even as painful as some of the other ones, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
That's a Juliet.
That's the last Juliet episode, isn't it?
I think so.
Because Not in Portland already got kicked off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
Hopefully she'll have a banger in season 5.
That was the one where she came like back, right? Like when they came back to the island or came back to the camp.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is season 4 of Lost. So if you guys have enjoyed our coverage of season 4, like, comment, subscribe, share it around to other Lost fans, and keep it spoiler free, please. Obviously, these guys.
There's plenty you can comment on without spoiling. You could tell us how much of a contrarian Michael or Kristin are. Either one of them.
Are you removing yourself from the contrarian list?
Right.
I am very consistent. I don't know what you're talking about.
So am I.
I like the same people. I dislike the same people. Kristin will just dislike somebody because I like them in a random episode.
That is not true. Jack was insufferable this episode.
There are way more insufferable people this episode.
We'll move on to season 5, Jake.
Yeah, 2 seasons left of this, and like I can't wait to see how this finishes and be one of you and knowing everything about Lost.
One of us.
All right. With that, we will see you next time for season 5 of Lost on the Tribe of Nerds.
Bye, John Locke.
Kevin sucks.